the face that runs the place.
Long live living.
Goodbye and good night.
Finally at 100 shows. A century of shows.
Woo!
Who would have thought? I just wanted to get the ending there. I'm afraid to talk about it, it interrupts me.
Digits.
Triple digits.
100.
Indeed.
100.
Indeed.
100 shows. 100 times we have been there in your podcast app, whichever one you use, waiting to be listened to.
Indeed.
And we thank you very much for listening.
So welcome folks to the 100th edition of the Kickout, your weekly pro wrestling guide.
We should have some like celebration music or something.
Well, we'll add it in, like so somewhere in the middle there. You influenced me to put in music. Wait, I have it in front of me actually. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. You happy now?
I like it, but I can think of something better.
From your laptop?
I can think of something better. Yeah, let me just get this going here.
All right.
Let me just get this going, okay?
All right. It's going to become a theme each week. We started with Spider-Man's theme and now it's... Just so you know, this is coming straight off Darragh's laptop.
I could say I almost had it pre-planned.
You could say that.
100. 100. Let's go. 100.
If this isn't an ad for a chocolate ad, I don't know what is.
If only we actually had video. You can see me dancing right now.
I want my Mars bars, I want my Twixes, I want my Bounties. I want to introduce the show this way because it actually has a ring to it. Welcome folks to the 100th edition of the Kickouts, your weekly pro wrestling guides, right here on 90.3 near FM, on all good podcasting providers and on the EMC podcast network. I'm Dave Cullen and I'm joined by the realest real one in the room. Darragh, dare I say it this way, how are you doing?
By the way, you talked about how this is a celebration.
Yeah.
Because it is, it's 100 of course. But you're talking about celebration in the chocolates.
Yeah.
You gotta go for the Maltesers first though, really, haven't you?
I don't know, I'm more of a...
The Maltesers is the one you always go for first.
Yes.
They're the best ones.
Snickers is my favourite.
No.
I'm a Snickers man.
Snickers are always the last one in their box to get eaten.
No, really?
Them and the Bounties. Even though I like...
No, Bounties. I
like the Bounties.
Me
though.
too, I like my Bounties,
I like the
too.
Bounties.
But it's always the Bounties. Nothing else. No, Snickers weren't the first to go.
No. Always Maltesers are the first to go. Always. Then it's the Caramel Galaxy ones after that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, Darragh, dare I say...
If I can't believe it took us 100 podcasts to find out how we eat our celebration sweets.
Well, it was never a subject.
I feel like I don't even know you right now.
Well, I never thought it was a subject that we'd bring up straight away.
Yeah.
We're getting to know each other.
We'd be like the perfect duo for having a box of celebration sweets, because you'd have all the ones that I wouldn't eat, and I'll eat all the ones that you don't eat.
Well, here's the thing. I like to think now that even after 100 episodes, we still don't know each other that well.
Are you one of those that puts the paper back in the box?
Oh, absolutely.
You're a bad man. You're pure evil. You are pure evil.
Anyway, why you call realist real one in the room this week? Dare I say, how are you doing?
How you doing? Yeah, because Enzo was back. Now, he was back last week and we didn't get a chance to talk about it on the show.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Enzo released a rap track and you had the first listen to it. Your first time listening to it,
literally,
just a few minutes ago.
Literally 5 minutes before we went on live.
People would have seen some videos online of you really focusing on the track and listening to it. So you've had a couple of minutes, about 10-15 minutes to, take in everything.
Right.
What do you think?
Well, I was focused in the sense that, you know, I was trying to see what all the fuss was about. So, like, you know, something like that you want to pay attention for, but I generally don't know what to say to it. Or at least I can't say it in positive
Like, you'd be the best person to ask because you're a musician yourself. You're a lead singer yourself.
Yeah. But
So, in terms of like the song itself, now obviously it's rap, and obviously you guys are a rock band.
Metal bands, yeah.
Metal band.
Rock metal, yeah.
Rock metal. Sorry, Dave.
Yeah, fine.
But see, we still don't know each other. 100 podcasts in. But what do you think? So,
well, rap isn't obviously my first genre, but at the same time, you know, just like, I don't know, I can't. There isn't too much I can say positively about it, if anything. See, no matter how good, even if the song is like as class as it gets in terms of the music and these and maybe Enzo is a good rapper or something like that. I'm not saying he's a bad rapper. Like, he's basically
I'll say he's a bad rapper.
The way I see it, he's basically doing the same thing he did when he was in WWE. He's promoing a song. Simple as
that wasn't the rap. That was more like a promo.
Exactly.
Like.
He's sticking to what he's good at. Does that said, oh my god, he's not helping himself because
it was just so bad. Though.
No, but
the track in general, I thought it was. I didn't know like
the
that.
Music isn't what I'm so focused. What I'm most negative about. The most negative part about the whole thing is that he's basically taking a shot at the whole situation he's in.
He's taking a shot at everyone.
Yeah,
everyone he can, he's taking a shot at. He's taking,
but most in particular,
he's taking a shot at wrestling marks. He's taking a shot, obviously, at the woman that accused him of rape.
Yeah,
he taking shots at people who thought that she was right.
Yeah,
it's like you're not helping yourself, pal.
It's just like it's one of these situations.
I didn't know if you were trying to be like Little John or something like as well because he was just like he was doing that thing that Little John does when he was in a music video where he'd be looking at the camera, he'd be singing along, and then he'd be making sure he's showing off his teeth because he has like grills on both sets of teeth.
Does he?
Little John does.
Oh, sorry.
Not Enzo. Enzo's doing the same thing, but he hasn't got the grills to show it off. You know, but it's just alienating him so much as well.
I don't get it. Like, you know, it's just like it seems like I understand if he wants to take a shot of all these things down the line, but not now when he's still in trouble with the whole situation by the sound of things. Yeah, you know,
like he's going on the basis obviously that the case is now closed, so he's innocent,
right?
But because the case is closed doesn't mean you're innocent. There was I think it was lack of evidence or something like that was the case. So it doesn't mean that you were innocent. It means that there was a lack of evidence to convict you because it's very hard to convict a rape case.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but I don't know. Like, I really don't know what else to think beyond it. Like, you know, but I can't say too much positive about it. Like, you know, so like, you know, like at the end of the day, my conclusion to it, the whole thing is like, well, if you're trying to get to make a response out of this, like, you know, this is probably the only way you know how, but it doesn't make it the right way how either.
Yeah,
simple as that.
Fair point.
That's all I can really say.
Yeah, no, it's a fair point.
You know, it's not my for once. I'm not really much of a rap person. Any rap music I listen to is very old school.
Yeah, I'm not a big rap fan now myself.
I'd rather listen to Public Enemy. Let's put it that way. They're class.
Yeah, because they can rap.
They can. Well, anyway, that's another story. But anyway, we're coming to you from the FM studios in the beautiful North Dublin village of Coolrock. I'll be bringing you the latest news, reviews, previews, rumours, and more from the world of professional wrestling. This week's show will be reviewing a lot of past week's action from WWE, New Japan's Best of the Super Juniors, just finishing up, CCW's Revolution VI, Faichi Pro Wrestling's Irish Underground Style, and OTT's A Haven of Monsters. And I'll also be previewing events coming up from the likes of Faichi Pro Wrestling, OTT, Low Blows, PWU, and Uprising Wrestling in Belfast. All that to come, but first we're going to start, as always, with the news.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Also, good news, everyone!
We're going to start with very good news, actually, concerning Tomoaki Honma. Now, you may have heard that he sustained a really career-threatening injury 15 months ago, but we're delighted to confirm that he's set to return to the ring. He appeared on Sunday morning's Best of the Super Juniors block finals and announced that he'll be returning to New Japan Pro Wrestling's Kazuma Roads show in June 23rd in Yamagata, which is where Houma is from. He later issued an open challenge to face anyone for him and Tony Makabe, his regular tag team partner, to face. So it looks like Great Bash Healer back, so that's just great news.
Fantastic news.
Yeah. Houma suffered a coracoid vertebrae injury, which while taking a draping DDT from Jado during a 6-man tag on March 3rd, 2017. The match was stopped right away, and Houma was stretchered out of the ring. He began to regain movement in his arms and legs in the days after the injury, and spent 3.5 months in the hospital as he underwent surgery and continues to recover. It was reported last November that Houma, whose goal was to always wrestle again, was back training for a return and taking bumps at New Japan Pro Wrestling's gym. So that's great. So it's great to see he's coming full circle. Long recovery, 15 months, but at the same time, it sounds like it's worth it.
Huge recovery there.
It goes to show you, especially with all the people returning from injury lately, like Daniel Bryan, his most famous example, obviously, shows that it's very possible. Like, no matter what the injury lately, well, obviously, some injuries are...
Obviously, no matter what the injury, but whereas
Certainly
certain ones would be career enders, now there's chances for them to come back.
Modern technology.
And I'd wonder what Houma's going to do now. And sort of, is he going to change his style a little bit to protect himself that little more? Like Daniel Bryan, I think, does now as well. He sort of changed his style up a little bit to obviously protect himself a little more in the ring, so he doesn't go through the same issues as he did before he had to retire.
Well, certainly for a neck injury, it's something that you should really keep an eye out for. Like, so.
But unfortunately, the neck is something that you can't really avoid, especially when taking a bump. So.
Yeah, but either way, like, maybe it's a good thing that he's returning in tag teams rather than singles action, which he always was in anyway, at least until he got injured. So it's great now, and it adds more to the tag division now in New Japan now, which could be take a very interesting twist in Dominion. We'll talk about that a bit shortly. But in the meantime, we'll move on. So now we may have heard, we talked about this last week about the jury case, or the case involving Punk, Cabana, and A-Man. Seems like it's come to a conclusion now.
A-Man, yes. The jury of the case of Dr. Christopher A-Man versus Phil Brooks and Scott...
His name is Chris. I thought it was A-Man.
And Scott Colton, otherwise known as Colt Cabana, ruled that neither man were liable for any damages against the WWE physician in the defamation lawsuit. The jury took only 2 hours to deliberate. Punk and wife AJ Lee had began crying in court when the verdict was read. A-Man was stoic. A-Man... attorney were asking for $3.9 million in damages, claiming $1 for every listener of the Art of the Wrestling podcast that Punk supposedly had. Punk's authority noted that WWE's medical records were not reliable because they never listed any of Punk's antibiotic prescriptions, and that the plaintiff's argument from the WWE doctors that there was no lump was ridiculous, given 4 witnesses coming forward who described it in detail besides Punk. The key to the case appeared to be the testimony of Punk's massage therapist, who described the lump in detail, and of his wife, who said she noticed it starting at a zit-like size, I should say, in August 2013, and it grew and changed colour over the months. While there's no proof that the lump was a staph infection, let alone MRSA staph, as Punk had stated on the show, the jury evidently felt that Punk was neither misheard the doctor or of not his exaggerations did not damage a man's professional standing.
So that's that then.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's mad how much money they actually asked him for, like almost $4 million.
Yeah.
Considering $1 per listener for the podcast, well, it's probably heard so much more.
Yeah.
Like for
well, it that was the claims that Punk and Cabana had, saying that's how many followers that they had. So that's why he went for the $3.989 million, to be exact.
It goes to show you, like, I mean, I'm amazed.
That's a lot of listeners.
I'm amazed.
Not as much as the Kick Out gets, but that's a lot of listeners.
Not even close.
No,
not even close. But if
I had $1 for every listener we had, I'd have $1. I'm only messing.
50 at best. That's what
I'm only messing. I'm only messing.
But anyway, I'm amazed. One of the things that amazed me about that report is WWE's didn't list any of Punk's antibiotic subscriptions.
That's crazy.
That's madness.
That's great for a company of that size.
Well, regardless of the size, the fact is that, like, you know, we hear so many stories, or at least we are convinced by stories that WWE really look after their athletes medically and stuff like that. And I imagine it's not always the case. Surely it's improved by now. I mean, this was 5 years ago. It's better not minds.
Yeah.
But even then, I mean, that's ridiculous how they can't keep subscriptions to that, because that's serious. Because imagine if they got that wrong and they could potentially hurt someone, like, you know, like, so that's what's really dangerous about that for me, like, so.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it didn't look like like in the end of the day, like I don't understand what Eamon's case was. If all this was against him, essentially.
Yeah.
Like the witnesses from not just his wife, obviously, like AJ Lee, but also but it boggles my mind that the lack of subscriptions.
Yeah.
It really does. Man.
He's still the physician there as well.
Is
so yeah.
Yeah, but okay, that's fine. But surely he's learned his lesson from this. Like, surely he's not that stupid.
You'd hope so.
I really hope.
You'd hope so.
Yeah, there's not much more to say about that, really. So
Yeah.
we'll move on in that case. Now, the New Japan Pro Wrestling's Best of the Super Juniors 2018 finished up this week with Hiromu Takahashi and Kei Ishimura advancing to the finals. Ishimura advanced in the final Block A matches by beating Yo. He needed a win in order to tie with Will Ospreay, and since he beat Ospreay, he would win the tiebreaker and advance to the finals. Ironically, he was at ringside cheering on his fellow Chaos member, was Will Ospreay, as he was rooting for an upset. Despite some close near falls and great support from the crowd, Ishimura trapped Yo in a crossface and earned a submission win. Ospreay stunned helped Yo to the back. Meanwhile, Takahashi had his hands full with one of the biggest stars in the division, Kushida, in a match with tremendous heat, and they always have fantastic matches. Takahashi managed to score the upset win. It's not really an upset, like, because they're back and forth for the title. Like, so I don't know about that. But after hitting an inverted pile driver and submitted then Kushida with a triangle. In the final itself, Takahashi hits his running Death Valley driver into the corner and hits a time bomb to win the Best of Super Juniors tournament in an exciting bounce, probably on par with some of the recent finals. That was some of the best wrestling all year. Now, I haven't seen the match. Like, you have. Like, I heard it's the longest match in the history of the finals.
It
ever.
is. Yeah, it is. But you don't think it is. It just flows perfectly.
Yeah.
And New Japan, a lot of their guys are getting into this now. I think we've seen it a lot, in especially with the Super Juniors, with the likes of Flip and ACH and stuff like that. That they're embracing this more. That they're using the environment a lot more too.
So when you say
in terms of like going outside of the ring,
that's good.
You know, like Takahashi's thing for the whole tournament was, and this is what I heard from like Kevin Kelly when I was listening to the commentary, because this was actually the only match I watched the Super Juniors. It's the only time I had to watch a match anyway. Was they'd run from the balcony. Well, it was in Kurgan Hall, so it's not really balcony, but they go from one side to the other, and they were running drop kick on Ishimori.
Nice.
Running across the whole crowd, so that's something that he was doing throughout the thing, and we saw it with like Flip and stuff like that too, so it was something different. And Ishimori he's gonna be so good. He already is, but once he gets his feet in New Japan now a little more, he's just gonna be so good.
He reached his first final.
Yeah,
his
first
tournament,
yeah.
he's in the final.
Exactly.
So
and I think he made the best decision to leave Noah Wrestling and to come over to New Japan. And now with the Bullet Club as well, I think he'll probably stick with the Tamatonga side of it, the Gorillas of Destiny more a little bit.
He doesn't need to be involved in that.
He doesn't, but I think he'd be like, in terms of that side with the like being the elite side, I think he'd be more on the Gorillas of Destiny side.
Yeah. So it'd be aligning with like Tamatonga and Tangaroa and Spadlock Fale, yeah. So and Chase Owens, like he's in that bunch as well. So he's better off, like, you know, like I don't think every member of Bullet Club really needs that. Like, you know, I understand like the American side of it, like the Young Bucks, Cody and Hangman Page, Marty and Omega, but like the rest don't need that. Like realistically, like, and you know, it's a huge coup for. Oh yeah, I forgot about Takahashi as well. That's in Bullet Club.
Yeah.
So Yujiro Takahashi. So but yeah, it's a big victory for him. Like again, like,
only a second best of the Super Juniors, and he's won it.
What?
Takahashi. That's only a second.
It's amazing.
Best of the Super Juniors, and he's won it.
He's definitely like I had a feeling like we both picked Takahashi to win, didn't we? So yeah, we both felt it. Like I certainly felt like, you know, I mean, if it's Ospreay, I don't know, like Ishimura, it's only his first one. He can't win his first one.
Exactly.
So unless Kushida won it last year, so I wasn't thinking him. And Ospreay's champion, and unless he wins it as champion, that would be okay.
Yeah, but now we have Takahashi against Ospreay.
So therefore,
at Dominion.
Yeah, exactly. So therefore, his victory makes more sense, and that means he will indeed challenge Will Ospreay for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title at Dominion this Saturday today actually.
Is on Friday or Saturday?
Saturday morning.
Saturday morning, yeah.
So by the time the show goes out, it'll be gone by now. So, so it's
Full
definitely
review to come next week.
what?
Full review to come next week.
Absolutely. Well, on that, let's talk about the cards from Dominion. Like it's a great card by this sense, isn't it?
Yes, the undercard as well as Rey Mysterio's match has been confirmed for New Japan Dominion. New Japan has confirmed on Monday morning that Rey Mysterio will team with Justin Thunder Liger and Hiroshi Tanahashi to take on the Bullet Club contingent of Cody Rhodes, Hangman Page and Marty Scurll. This stems from an angle where Scurll jumped Tanahashi at the end of their match at the Best of the Super Juniors Junior Finals, only for Justin Liger to run in for the save. The undercard has a new IWGP Junior tag title match as El Desperado and Yoshibinu Kenmaru will defend against Roppongi 3K, of course, Sho and Yo. After a pull apart between the two at the Best of Super Junior Finals, Mauro Suzuki and Tomohiro Ishii will square off in a tag team match with Zack Sabre Jr. and Toru Yano as their respective tag team partners. Now here's a full card for this coming Saturday at Osaka Joe Hall. Of course, it's a 2 out of 3 falls match for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Kazuyuka Okada versus Kenny Omega. You've got Tetsuya Naito against Chris Jericho for the IWGP Intercontinental title. As we were mentioning, Will Ospreay against Hiromu Takahashi for the Junior Heavyweight title. Then the tag match, like we said, of Tanahashi, Mysterio and Liger against Cody, Marty Scurll, Hangman Page. The IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team titles are on the line as the Young Bucks get their chance against Evil and Sonata. The Never Openweight title is on the line in a triple threat match between Hirooki Goto, Michael Elgin and Taichi. Of course, like we said, Ishii and Yano is against Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. Then we have David Finlay and Juice Robinson against Jay White and Yoshihashi. And then, like we said, for the junior tag team titles, it's Kemaru and El Desperado against Roppongi 3K.
Stacked cards.
Yeah, a little disappointed with the Mysterio match. I would have preferred maybe a one-on-one instead.
Well, maybe I think they're just looking for everyone to do something, like, everyone to be involved in some sort of match, and I think that
But you could have had, like, say,
well.
Mysterio against Hangman or Mysterio against Cody, and then the other one could have been in the tag match with Marty Scurll against Tanahashi and Liger. I think it could have worked that way.
Ray against Scurll actually would have made sense going into, especially from the Strong Style Evolved just gone. When
even Ray against Cody, to see what they can actually do in the ring and not being hampered by a
well,
WWE
Ray and
booker.
Cody, I think, would know each other well from the WWE days anyway. So I think they wrestled. I'm not sure if they wrestled each other, but I imagine
they would have. Yeah,
they should have. Like, but no, the match that would stand out there being Mysterio and Scurll. But I don't mind that extending for a while. They could have that match.
Well, it all depends if Mysterio's actually hanging around.
I don't know. I
Because
imagine
if Mysterio's hanging around, well then I can understand them having just a tag team match. But if this is a one-time thing, or like a Jericho thing where it's only every now and again for the big shows.
I imagine it's like a Jericho thing where he's like Jericho. He sort of flirts with all the different promotions.
Yeah,
Like,
well, he's flirting with Impact now as well.
Yeah.
Sammy Callahan's calling him out.
Is he?
Yeah, Sammy Callahan's calling him out.
I actually can't think of a better man to call someone.
And he announced that Impact wrestlers are going to be taking part at the Cruise of Jericho as well.
I heard about that, yeah. So it's definitely something. But no, I think it's okay. Like it for one, it's Rey Mysterio's first appearance. I don't mind it being in a 6-man tag, and better yet, because of there's 4 other significant title matches in that. Like like the heavyweight Intercontinental, Junior Heavyweight, and the heavyweight tag title matches, all significant matches in a way. So I think maybe if a Ray versus Marty matches in that, it could probably turn too much into a Wrestle Kingdom show, if that makes sense, where it's too big. Yeah. So maybe they're settling it down a bit more by having this, if that makes sense. But at the same time, those 4 matches alone. Like, for example, Young Bucks, has there ever been a team that has won... I don't think there's ever been a team that has won both Junior Heavyweight and Heavyweight tag titles. I can't think of one anyway.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know New Japan well enough for it.
I couldn't guess anyway. The closest would probably be Apollo 55, which I don't think has happened. So, like Taguchi and Trickle David back in the day.
No, I don't think they never even went for the heavyweight.
Yeah.
I think they just stayed in the
They
junior
were 6-time tag champions, so... But no, so many good matches. Jericho and Naito I'm really looking forward to. Obviously, here's a question. Okada and Omega, will it go under or over 60 minutes?
Over.
It has to,
over. For 2 out of 3 falls, over.
It has to be.
For sure. And We both made our predictions.
We have.
On the low blows, actually, didn't we? And
Yeah.
I saw you copied me a little bit.
Would it go away?
I think I had my predictions there for a good couple of hours, and then you finally predict, and they're all very similar.
You keep thinking that.
Very similar.
Yeah, from a man who just admits he doesn't know much from New Japan, why would I copy you?
Yeah, why would you copy me?
Exactly.
I don't know
wouldn't.
New Japan.
I wouldn't. That's the
well,
point.
Dave, you just copied me, so.
You keep
Or
taking
maybe
that.
I'm really good at New
Don't
Japan.
take the heat out of what you did to me before.
I'm really
okay.
good at New Japan.
Don't take the
That's
heat
what it
away
is.
from what you did to me for the best of Super Juniors.
I'm
Don't even go
Darragh New
there.
Japan Maher. They know it. That's what they call me. Because I know New Japan.
Oh, now you're just admitting. Oh, now all of a sudden you know New Japan.
I know New Japan so much. I know everything about New Japan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know what the NJPW stands for? New Japan Pro Wrestling.
What does IWGP stand for?
What?
What does IWGP stand for?
We gotta move on to the timelines. Come on.
Anyway, we're going to go from Osaka Joe Hall to the Common Inn Hotel in Cork, where Celtic Championship Wrestling held their Evolution 6 card at the Common Inn Hotel in Cork last Saturday on June 2nd, where 3 new champions were crowned in eventful nights during CCW's biggest show of the year. Now, obviously, neither of us could be there, so we can't give a full review of it. But we
will next week. We're getting the on demand.
Indeed, yeah.
So we'll review it next week.
So we'll try our best to get a good solid review for next week. Hopefully, then it won't be too late. But anyway, due to Vic Viper vacating the CCW All-Star title due to health reasons, the title was decided in the Dame O'Mahony Memorial Battle Royale, and it was Billy Bedlam who was crowned a new champion in a battle royale that also included Steve Savage, Amos and Jacob, the Super Nintendo Bros, Flight Modes, JMoney, Jason Max, Kurtz the Vulture, Giordano the Producer, and Gunter Isaac. In the other title matches, Rough Stuff defeated the Armstrongs to win the CCW title. It doesn't surprise me at all. No, because Rough Stuff are actually they're like the Armstrong's toughest challengers, I think. So, and let's not forget the Armstrong has actually never defeated Rough Stuff before they became tag champions.
Okay.
So it would have been more. It would have been. It's almost like a pick 'em because they're champions, so maybe have that momentum going.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, it's like a Walter David Starr thing. You know, it's like Rough Stuff at the moment are the Walter to the Armstrong's David Starr. If that makes sense.
Like 0-10 sort of thing.
Something like that, yeah. Raven Creed retained her CCW Women's title against Debbie Cattell in a last woman standing match. And Lewis Garvin was the shocker tonight as he was crowned the new CCW Heavyweight Champion, defeating Justy, Danny the Beast Butler, and Ricky Combat. That actually genuinely doesn't surprise me because I had a funny feeling he would come out on top.
Yeah.
He was like the dark horse in that match. And
I was kind of hoping beyond hope when I was reading the news of what happened. I was kind of hoping that because he's just been cleared and he's back wrestling, that Pastor William Eva would show up at least after the match to sort of set up something. But obviously it was not to happen.
it could easily happen next show.
It could.
Other results include Paul Tracy answering Giordano the Producer's challenge with victory after Doug Williams was unable to appear on the night due to personal reasons, and Lycan defeated Lee Callahan in a loser leaves CCW deathmatch. So it's unfortunate Doug Williams couldn't be there. Obviously, he said there was like a video promo explaining his reasons, and then Paul Tracy was still there answering Giordano the Producer's challenge. And now this whole thing between Lycan and Lee Callahan seems to be over now. So what does this mean for the establishment, or certainly what does it mean for
Establishment
Lee?
is no more.
So
Lee
that's
is
it
no
then?
more. Loser Lee is.
That's it now.
Yeah, gone.
Who runs CCW now, or at least
There's no Raw for him to show up on, like Sammy and Kevin. Like, so maybe he will show up on Raw. Don't know.
who knows?
Yeah.
We'll have to see what happens. Certainly interesting times ahead for CCW. But we'll finish off the news with some news from Scotland in ICW.
Yeah, Insane Championship Wrestling have announced that WWE Hall of Famer Jeff Jarrett will be commissioner for the Suggs Hoose Party Night 2 event on July the 29th.
That's cool. Like
Hoose,
like
hoose
Jeff.
about this hoose. That,
I wonder
that just reminds me. Remember that wine gums ad?
What's wrong?
Who's out about this hoose? And then he has a wine gum and he goes mental.
You know, I'm trying to remember, and I.
Yeah. We'll watch during break.
But no, it's good for it seems like Jeff Jarrett, like, you know, he seems like to be a man who in the past is known for his bad bits and pieces, like, or that's what he's probably most known for. But it seems like he's getting wiser now. He's getting to that wise stage, it seems like now. But maybe because he's helping more indie wrestling. But then again, he's always done that to an extent anyway. When he set up TNA, which eventually went on to be Impact and doing Global Force, and now he's helping other promotions. So it seems like he's reaching that level ground, if you like. Though. But then again, I don't know. It's hard to tell from the outside, I suppose, in his case.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, like, commissioner for a night, what is he going to do, sort of thing. I always get worried about these commissioner roles because they don't often do a lot. Well, I think it's just, it's just the figurehead there.
I'll tell you what, we'll be talking about OTT Haven the Monsters after the
I know you're going to talk about a certain person. I know.
Yes, and he in particular played a significant role in events.
He did. That's fine because he's still an active wrestler. I don't see Jeff Jarrett doing that though.
Well, in Trent Seven's case, he was injured. So
yeah, I know. He still did stuff.
Anyway. Basically, it could be the same amounts of stuff to the same physical elements because, compared to an injured active wrestler, compared to a guy who's a retired wrestler. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Oh, we'll see. I'll wait to be. I hope to be pleasantly surprised.
Well, on that note, we'll take a quick break, and when we return, we will start our results of the week with Fight Factory Pro Wrestling 5, and later move on to OTT Haven the Monsters.
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.
Hoots, man, there's juice loose about this house. Set the juice loose!
Oh, you feel like a bag of wine gums after that?
Oh, I'd love a bag of wine gums right now.
We're back here on the Kick Out, your weekly pro wrestling guides. We're not a show for advertising stuff, but we do love a good ads.
But then we also happened to click by the old Cadbury's ad where they did the moving eyebrows, which is just freaky. It freaks you out, doesn't it?
That freaks the bejesus out of me because I mean, the little girl, God bless her, she looks like an alien because her eyebrows are moving in such a rapid thing. That's not human. I know it's not humanly possible. It can't be.
No, it's not.
But no, I can understand that when it goes like 1, 2, 3, 4, but when it gets out of hand,
like you just go like, you can't do that.
I can only raise one eyebrow anyway, and
you do like the whole rock thing.
Exactly, and I'm happy to keep it that way. Anyway, on that note, let's move on now with our results of the week.
Oh my God! What the hell is going on? Oh my God!
Some people might say my life is in a rut. I'm quite happy with what I got. People might say that I should strive for more, but I'm so happy I can see the fine things happening here today.
So Fight Factory Pro Wrestling had their episode 5 Irish Underground style happened at the Sean O'Casey, the Big Sean they call it now.
The Hot Sean it was.
Was it Hot Sean or Big Sean?
No, that's what it was on Friday. It was the Big Hot Sean.
Oh, nice.
Because it was roasted.
The Big Hot Sean.
It was roasted.
I'll say that again. And it happened at the Grayso Matinee Community Centre.
Heal me off the chair by the end of it.
It was a class show. It was a great show. It wasn't just the heats, it was the wrestling that made it so warm, I suppose. So some really good matches. The first match was a Fight Factory Pro Wrestling Next Gen match, which I think this new initiative that they're trying to do now for up-and-coming wrestlers between the flamboyant Fabio and Justin Daniels. Justin Daniels.
Redacted.
Are you still bitter about what you did to me?
Shouldn't have done that.
You told me off. If he told you off, I get your anger.
We're
but
a
it's
team,
okay.
Dave. We're a team.
I appreciate that. See what he did is Justin when he came.
No one disrespects my Dave. No one.
He came up to
Not
me.
even Redacted will disrespect my Dave.
Yeah. So Daragh took it personally when Justin came up to me and said, "Oh, you're from the Kick Out. Nobody cares." I gave him a huge boo, and he thought it was you after that. So. Anyway, to be fair, this was a really good match. This is actually probably one of the best matches of the whole night for me.
Yeah.
Some really slick wrestling, some good...
These lads are 14 and 15.
Oh, God almighty.
It's like we should have the disgustingly young sort of...
The disgustingly young...
category.
Yeah. This is like the Fight Factory Pro Wrestling disgustingly young generation match.
Yeah.
But again, what I can compliment in particular, really good suplex technique that Daniels had. Fabio, some really good movements. He knew how to move very well around the ring.
Yeah, the thing to say, like, he's not going to know anyway because he doesn't like the podcast. He's not going to listen to it anyway. But
so if he encounters Fabio, he'll be telling them all this.
Yeah, just Daniel's heel mannerisms were just fantastic.
He's very good
throughout the whole thing.
Both of them sold very well as well. In the end, it was Fabio who won the match after an impressive rolling cutter where he did like a tumble and it was similar to Jay Lethal's Lethal Injection, except he does a front row instead of doing the backflip against the ropes. So it works. It was an awesome match. Now, the Enterprise, Liam Royal and Luke Cullen took on the team of Michael May and LJ Cleary. Very entertaining match, because it was interesting because it had a bit of backstory to it, because the Enterprise, of course, were originally part of LJ Cleary's Cleary Cartel, and they sold a bit this by tearing up the old Cleary Cartel t-shirts in front of LJ and throwing it at him, so it was a very entertaining match, some really good spots throughout, but in the end it was Royal. Royal is towering.
Royalty. That's what he is.
He towers over them, but he uses his strength so well.
So good. So good. Both him and Luke are just like the perfect tag team. So good. Play the heels perfectly. Sorry as well. Just fantastic. But he wasn't wearing the Speedos this week though.
Yeah, he wasn't wearing his sister's pants as we teased him from last show. But it was Royal who ended up bumping Cleary into May, and he rolled him up for the win. And at the end of the match, then Cleary and May got into a bit of a heated exchange. Then, and they'll be opponents.
Don't forget that those two are facing each other
at Grapple Games. So maybe they're trying their tag team match just to maybe be on the same page, but it didn't work because they got each other pretty quickly after that. So. Now, Be Cool took on Paul Tracy. It was actually a very good match with Paul Tracy getting some heat for a chance of it being a giant baby at one stage.
Yeah.
I think someone was chanting, "Where's your pacifier?" at one stage.
Yeah. Paul's just brilliant.
Yeah. But Be Cool's improved so much as well, in all areas because his wrestling, because he's obviously known a lot more as a comic wrestler. But his technique is getting so good lately as well. So.
Oh, he can go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he can go, no bother.
It was a really impressive finish as well, where Cool won by the Tornado DDT into the Brainbuster, where he went from it's basically everything bar the DDT into a Tornado DDT, and then turned it into a Brainbuster.
Yeah, it was like a spinning Brainbuster.
Is that what you call it?
From the second rope, yeah. An ultimate Brainbuster, maybe?
An ultimate Brainbuster.
We call it an ultimate?
Yeah, okay, we'll call it that Brainbuster. It was a very good match. Now, this was by far the match of the night. It's more than hype against Club Rock Shandy for the Irish tag titles.
Yeah.
This was a class match. Terrific showing from both Clong and Martin Steers. Martin Steers, he's still not even 10 matches yet, at least I'm aware of anyway.
Yeah.
And he's gotten so good.
Both of them are brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. They came out with the belt that had all the rock shandies on it. Brilliant.
Taking a page of Don Marnell. Instead of a big bag of cans, a big bag of rock shandies.
Big bag of rock shandies.
But no, Clong was always good, but then you have Martin Steers, who's almost near his level now at this stage already, so I'm amazed by it, obviously Clong has his what sort of background is it? Is it Taekwondo background? It shows in some of his strikes,
some of those kicks were vicious.
The spots as well, where they're diving off the top rope, they're so good, they're scary to watch sometimes. In that sort of way, when you get so high. And because it's in that environment like the Shano Casey, as opposed to Tivoli, there's that you fear the worst sometimes, but so naturally you're scared and I hope he's okay. He gets up straight away.
Exactly, because it's just it's the same at the contender shows. When they go outside, sometimes there's just that little bit of silence where you can just hear the. And then you think someone's after whacking their head or something like that.
The difference is, though, for the OTT shows, they have a lot of the crew around the ring.
Exactly.
So they're all there to cushion that, where there's not as much as that on the Fight Factories. So that's why it's just that concern as well. So, but in the end, though, it was more than hype who won after their double hook pile driver super kick finisher.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looked like Looked like Clong injured his shoulder there as well. Saw him around later on. I think it was he dislocated his shoulder actually.
It was something torn, he told me after the match, but he told it's a shame because after such a fast match,
you could see because when they lifted him up, when it was Darren lifted him up, you could actually hear him scream out because he couldn't take the pressure on his shoulder, so they had to finish it quickly. Listen, they took care of him during the match, after the match, and he seems to be doing all right.
And he still did like the as sweet as he like 450.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are
very crisp, like him, and as we get onto it later, Dimitri, their 450s, they're his Dimitri's swantons.
Flawless. Now, after the matches where it got very interesting, Tron and JDP, who are regulars at PWU, attacked Club Rockstrandi after the match, and a few members of their crew. Here's Rick Nash on the outside screaming, "What's going on? What's going on?"
Yeah.
In the end, it was more than Hype who came back and tried to fight them back until they eventually retreated. So it's interesting how that'll pan out. So
that's going to be a class match.
That's a very interesting match because like it's two guys who are much bigger. Here you have Tron, who's like 7 foot something.
It's the second time seeing Tron in a ring, and you're still shocked at how massive he is. And JDP is a big guy himself as well, but the thing is, he's just like Tron just towers over him.
He towers over
and
everybody.
And then the lads from More Than Hype, they're both being being towered over as well. It's going to be an interesting match. I'd love to see if Taryn can lift either of those two up for the finisher. What do they call the finisher?
I don't know what they called it actually. Yeah. So the blade driver, I think they just call it.
The blade driver.
Yeah. Or the double blade driver. I don't know. I don't know. They wouldn't call it that. Just call it blade hurts because it's a super kick and then a power driver. You know, I'd say a blade driver, but a super kick's involved. So maybe blade that hurts. No.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, after the break, then they had. No,
I'm not even going to try.
After the break, then they had the 6-person tag involving Debbie Cattell in one corner and Katie Harvey in the other corner. Now, as part of the rules in this match, Debbie and Katie had to draw 2 names off a hat in order to pick their team. So it was Debbie who drew player 1 from the Super Nintendo Bros and John Bernard. So, whereas Katie drew a very unusual team of Rocky Mack, who she has a bit of a rivalry with in PWU, and the ever charismatic Dom Talk.
Oh.
By
the way, I do want to make the point.
Okay.
I do hope John Bernard was drug tested after that match, because before he got into the ring, he was clearly seen taking a vial of some sort. I do hope he's not taking performance-enhancing drugs.
I heard that's part of his gimmick, though. Where he
no.
It's like how could I describe it? It's like a Frankenstein sort of. It's like a
no. You're not allowed to take performance enhancing drugs, right? We have to all be on a level playing field here. Either drugs for no one or drugs for everybody. He didn't bring enough files for everybody, so that's illegal.
It's probably Lucasades.
That is a foreign substance.
Lucasades.
It's a foreign substance in his body. He's not allowed to have it. I hope they gave him a drugs test after that match.
Oh. It could have been just Lucasade, but in all fairness, I like the gimmick. Like it's like what's his name? Do you remember Crash Bandicoot 1? What was your do you remember the Crash Bandicoot 1? What was the Dr. Leo Cortex's sidekick?
Oh,
the guy with the
Chaos.
Chaos.
Was it Chaos?
No. But so Crash Bandicoot 2 onwards, he had that guy with the rocket in his head. But before that, you had a guy who had he looked like Frankenstein in a way. He had that oval head. Yeah. Or he took potions and he became a monster. It's a similar gimmick to that in a way. For the life of me, I can't remember the name.
Let me have a look. See.
But anyway, Dom played some really good, funny antics during this match because he claimed to be the star of the team and he kept tagging Katie.
Are you sure it wasn't just Dr. Leo Cortex you were just thinking of?
No. It was like a sidekick.
Okay.
In the first game, and but Dom was tagging both Rocky and Katie aggressively, and when the other ones were looking for a tag, he was just avoiding it altogether. Some really good wrestling at times, especially from John and Katie in particular.
Yeah.
And Debbie, I should say, as well. And in the end, it was Debbie who cradled Katie for the win. And here's Dom afterwards being, he cost us the win, blah, 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 blah. Katie gave Don the well-deserved attack after that match. So it goes to show you. Now, probably one of the most intriguing matches of the night was Jussi against Valkyrie. It was it was a fast start right from the go, because I think at the very start it was Valkyrie who nailed Jussi with like a Insiguri just like that.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how crisp some of her movement is as well. Like even some of her strikes are pinpointed at some stage. Like, you know, you just look at it and thinking, God, who else is doing it better than her right now?
Exactly.
So
probably no one, to be honest.
Yeah, in the end it was Valkyrie who won by Hirooki and then a standing moonsault. And afterwards, Valkyrie then, who's going to be involved in the Grapple Games match coming soon, declared her intention to go for the title and therefore be the first ever female junior heavyweight champion of Ireland. So,
was it Nitrous Brio?
That sounds everything's about.
Yeah, it's Nitrous Brio. I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm live. I see it here.
That rings a bell, alright. So he had the doctor's coats as well.
Yeah, and he takes a load of vials and he becomes like a Hulk, like.
Yeah. That was his thing on if you're against him, if you're against him as a boss in Crash Bandicoots, after when he has 3 lives left, he takes the potion and he goes after you all Hulk style. Yeah. So anyway, the fatal 4-way now between Alexander Dean, Sean Guinness, Sammy D, and Dmitry Krakovich. So this was a really good match. It was like the thing about this match is like you have Dean, Guinness, and Sammy D who are very experienced, and here's Krakovic, who's experienced in his own right as well, but by God, he was the MVP of this match. Yeah.
It was all about Dimitri.
That corkscrew.
Yeah.
That corkscrew senton.
Corkscrew, the senton, just everything in general. This guy's rubles right now.
He's rubles.
He's money. He's rubles.
I like it. He's rubles.
You know.
One of the spots I loved in this match was that Trin pin crossbody where 2 people were down. I think it was he hit the crossbody on Sammy, I think, and both Dean and Maxer were down on the floor, and he crossbodied over again, and he pinned all 3 of them. Yeah. So I already see that in there. So it was a really good fatal 4-way. But after Krakovic hit the corkscrew, it was Sammy D who rolled up Krakovic by grabbing the tights and then therefore winning the match. So very good match.
Greeted too by a load of hisses as well.
Yeah, what was that all about, by the way?
Because he's a snake.
Oh, was that what that was about?
Yeah.
You know what, now that you think about it, I used to get that before.
What? Are you a snake?
Apparently back in the day when I was in school, because I pronounced my S's a bit longer than some, I was given all this stuff before, so and it took me 2 years to figure it out until we went on a trip to the zoo and I had to go with a taller guy for looking like a giraffe, and then we'll go down to this part here with the snakes are, that's your family. I'm like, what are you on about? You're a snake, aren't you? I'm like, what are you even talking about? And then it dawned on me, that's why that's why you're doing that? Jesus, lads, get a life.
Yeah, because he's a snake.
It's a snake.
It's a snake.
It's a snake. Well, for the record, in Chinese years, I'm the year of the snake, so eat that, lads. Anyway, the final match then was JMoney versus Phil Boyd, which is a very good main event. This was to decide the final spots in the Grapple Games match, as it was up for debate due to JMoney after video was discovered by Phil Boyd and JMoney, where it was actually JMoney's whose feet touched the floor in the Battle Royale from episode 4. Really good main event. It's actually, like, you know, we see obviously JMoney was actually fantastic at his gimmick. Like, you know, he could wrestle little or no moves and still have a great match. Yeah. But he actually had a class match wrestling wise as well.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. And obviously Phil, being the wily veteran that he is, tried to use his small package to get the victory over JMoney, but JMoney is in that Grapples Games.
He is.
He's going to be the next junior heavyweight champion.
You calling it right now?
No, I can't call it. I'm sorry, it's too close. I really can't call it.
He won it after a super Death Valley driver, or a super running Death Valley driver, which is more impressive.
Yeah.
After the match, it was Sammy D who attacked Money after the match with the other contenders there to defend him. So it was somewhat of a bit of a standoff at the end. So, which is nice. That's a nice way to end the show there, where they're all confronting each other in the ring, and then I'll see you there, and I'll see you there, and I'll see you there.
Exactly.
If it was on TV, it would be perfect. You know, that sort of way. So
it would get you hyped for the next show.
Yeah.
And I think people are hyped for the next show.
On that note now, so there's JMoney.
Well, not the next show, the episode 6.
Yeah,
the
like-
next show's in Cabana next week.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's JMoney, Michael May, LG Cleary, Sam Doyle, and Valkyrie challenging Jordan Devlin.
Yeah.
Who do you have? It's not easy, isn't it?
I said JMoney, but
Valkyrie shouts a good claim.
yeah, I know. I think that is a good claim. But then again, like, Jordan holding on to it is not a bad thing either. LJ's been looking for it since he lost it to Jordan.
That's true. All like Sam Doyle is the first ever.
Michael
Junior
May
champion.
is that like quiet guy that will can just come out of nowhere, and he can just get a victory no bother. Don't underestimate him. And then Sammy D, we saw in that Fatal 4-Way that he can just roll up out of nowhere and just get that pin and be the little snake that he is. So it's so tough to call. But if I have to make a guess right now,
All right.
this is more heart than head.
Right.
Would be Valkyrie.
That's a good call. I'm gonna go for the former champion being champion again, though. I'm gonna go for LJ.
You're gonna go LJ?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a tough call.
I think, like, if you look at that lineup and if you see any of those people winning it would not be a bad champion going forward.
Oh, absolutely. So I have to see what happens. So obviously their next show is happening in Cabra. We'll talk about that in the previews a bit later on. And obviously their grapple game's coming back in the Big Sean. So that to look forward to for 552 Pro Wrestling. But now we'll move on to our results of the week, and we'll move on to OTT, A Haven of Monsters. I've become such a fan of the Misfits, like they had to play this song. So this is like their version of the Monster Mash, so
Yeah.
only appropriate. Now of course neither of us were at OTT, A Haven of Monsters, but I managed to watch it on stream before we came on, so we were able to give you a full review. Meanwhile, the only match I haven't seen is the main events, which is between Walter and Low-Key against David Starr and Jordan Devlin. So
You
Walter,
know what we should do?
what?
Get a Sting for the next show.
What do you mean a Sting?
Sting, be like, Darragh watches on CT. Something like that. Because I'm going to be watching it and I'm going to be doing play-by-play.
So, like we did last time, we're going to have Darragh watch the main events while I review the rest of the show up to that point. So, so you have it on?
Yeah, I have it just ready here. It's just about to start. All four have made their entrances.
All right.
By the way, I love the whole Dirty Dancing style entrance by Jordan and David Starr. It was fantastic.
I only saw the start of that, but I can only imagine what it's like. Don't tell me they did the dancing, did they?
No, they did the holding up.
Did it not?
They did, yeah.
Who was-
David Starr held up Jordan. It was brilliant.
Oh, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
But the show started when William J. Humperdinck...
By the way, it's starting with Walter against David Starr.
Interesting.
David Starr, who's 0-10 in single matches against Walter, as we found out at the
Well,
start.
he has a chip on his shoulder, so
Yeah.
makes no surprise.
Walter is massive.
The show, well, this is A Haven of Monsters. The show starts with William J. Humperdinck and Tony Kelly in the ring. William said that due to Don's plan to make him miss Scrapper Mania, like he lured him and Tony out of Scrapper Mania, leaving Angus and Don in commentary. He declared that Don is still fired, and Angus, assuming that he had something to do with the scheme, was suspended. Therefore, he and No Socks Kelly will take over commentary. During this time, people in the audience threw socks at him, by the way, which was incredibly funny. They announced then that Trent Seven would be commissioner for the show, who came out like Vince McMahon with his theme song. And got
David, what are you doing?
So he came out with like the suits.
David just tried to chop Walter. Why would you do that? Walter has him here. Now, I don't have the sound on, so I can't hear this, but I can only assume that's going to be bad. Oh, he blocked it. He chopped him again. Why are you going for the chops? Well, this is why he's 0-10.
Oh, because he's going for chops. But anyway, it was Trent Seven who came out as commissioner, like Vince McMahon, with his theme, and got slated for his lack of socks before impersonating Vince for a bit by going, "Alright, I'm the commissioner of OTT. And then he said he's not allowing. Then he fired William J and Tony for commentary and brought back Angus and Don on commentary. Before the three of them did Triple H impressions with a can each. So they had like a can of Rockshore each, and they drank it down into the spit in the front of the stage.
Rockshore's a horrible drink.
It's not bad.
I really don't like it. It's horrible hangovers.
It's a good summer beer because it's light.
Nah.
I'd
rather have a can of Canadian than that.
Really?
Yeah.
They're very similar beers, actually, I think.
Yeah, but Canadian doesn't give you that awful hangover. Rockshore does.
If we drink too many, then it won't make a difference.
It will the next day when you're hungover.
How many did you have that night?
What?
How many did you have that
6.
night? Only 6?
I only bought a 6-pack of it.
Alright. Did you eat with them?
What?
Did you eat with it?
No.
You don't see the problem there?
What? The problem was I drank
6
Rockshore,
beers,
yeah.
no food.
The problem was I drank Rockshore, yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway, Team White Wolf, Adam Kidd, A-Kid and Adam Chase.
Loki's in the ring now.
Against Morton Hype, Darren Carney and Nathan Martin. This was a very good match. Very slick wrestling from all 4 men. Really good teamwork from Morton Hype in particular, but some excellent technique and leap abilities from A-Kid. A-Kid is a guy who I really hope does well in the future. Like, you know, if WWE do some sort, like, he's a guy who I can imagine is going to make a name for himself, not just in like all over Europe, because he's like him and Adam Chase are really touring around Ireland and the UK a lot now.
Yeah.
So hopefully they do very well.
They're from Spain originally, aren't they?
Yeah, they're from the AAA promotion in Madrid.
Okay, cool.
Very good selling from Martin in particular. Like Martin, who can go from Nathan Martin just like Psycho Martin just like that. Which, by the way, there was like chants of do I think do Psycho Nathan Martin do. Like, it wasn't my favorite chant of the night, but it was a good one as well. Great near fall when A-Kids did like the thing where what's her name, did the suplex, the slide suplex out of the ring. Like, that was
it's Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn. She like A-Kid did something similar before they did like a sweep missile drop kick, which somehow he cooked out of. And excellent effort from all of them. Like, the drew, as a drew match for cousin, there was plenty of near falls. But the match eventually ended when Carney reversed.
How does Loki wrestle with those like gun holsters?
God
I
knows.
really don't know. Does he still actually have, like, obviously they're not real guns, but does he actually have fake guns in there?
Would that be strange if we had water guns? Splash, splash, splash.
Yeah, that's if it was a comic thing. But
Zap.
Loki doesn't hit me as the like comic type.
Zap.
In the ring.
Zap.
Zap.
Zap. Carney reversed. A-Kids ran it into a powerbomb before submitting him with the half crab, and Martin hitting the high cross body on Chase. And after the match, they all showed respect. So it was a great opening match, it was. Now, Angel Cruz came out with Team P. Rick, asking for Trent Seven to come out. So, Angel Cruz and Trent Seven have a bit of a history involving Tyler Breeze or Tyler Bates, like each debate the name. And Cruz recalled their five-star 5-man 6-man match almost to the day last year, and reminds Trent about him breaking up Angel and Tyler Breeze and questioning why Angel himself hasn't got a match. He then asked Trent why is he being such a lesbian to get a giggle out of Trent. He asked Trent, Trent said he had to do what he had to do, and then questioned his friendship with Be Cool before inviting the fabulous Nikki out. And he encouraged Nikki and Angel to have a match, but both refused. Then Trent then had a funny phone call with Triple H. Did you ever see that thing where Trent Seven called Triple H during a show?
No.
I was like, hey, Chips, it's me. No, not Pete. No, not Tyler. No, the funny one, remember? And he ends with, okay, stay cerebral. And I got a huge pop, because that was done before in Progress, when during the unboxing in Progress, where I didn't know what the matches were. I think it was Triple H calling Triple H and had a say cerebral thing that happened, and he was blessed with that chance ever since. But he then promised Nikki that he'll be at WrestleMania Axis if he wins. And so the match changed God knows how many times, because Angel was about to pin Nikki, and then Trent said, no, sorry, the match is First Bloods. Alright, fine. He takes out a fork. He's about to stab Nikki in the head. Oh wait, no, stop. Brand panties match. and then Nikki was on the floor. Alright, go on, take it off. Oh, okay, stop, that's weird. Okay, a steel cage match. And it was like an invisible cage match. And the crowd were going, the strobe lighting was on, and now the crowd was going dun 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 dun. And then and actually it was literally like there was stages when I think Angel was trying to, or Nikki was going for the cage door, which was the nearest to the entranceway, and one of the guys from Be Cool slammed it, pretended to slam a cage door, and hit him in the head. And then when Angel had 1 foot left to put down after escaping the cage, trying to change it to a Royal Rumble match. Out come Captain Sexy, making his Tivoli debut, and he was quickly eliminated to Angel and Nikki. Got a huge pop
that's
though.
Vicious.
What happens?
Low key just put an armbar in on Jordan over the top rope.
Ugh.
Damn, it looked vicious.
Before Angel was about to eliminate Nikki, then looked like he was going to go, oh wait, fine, just make it a normal match, and that was the normal match from there on in. Spots included the run spots, and Nikki making Angel reverse his old school into a springboard cutter. But eventually it was Angel who pinned Nikki after a brainbuster. And after the match, Angel shook hands and kissed it, if you like, with both Nikki and Trent. And that was that, like, so.
Aww.
So, like, it was, you know what?
So the kiss and made up.
You know what Nikki was like with his kisses, and then there was like a little peck involving Trent. So
Huh.
now, one of the most anticipated matches of the night was Damon Corvin against Sean Guinness. Now, of course, their match goes back to the start of OTT. Like, when OTT was starting, they were actually one of the first matches to ever happen during the match. And Corvin was accompanied by Bonesaw 2, a remix of their Prodigy theme. So it was like the still, but it had like after it kicks in, it was a different remix of the song.
Yeah.
So it was something different, and it was nice that Corvin was able to separate that from it. So I think it makes sense.
Oh, good.
And it was good wrestling from the two. Corbin seems to wrestle more like a heel though, because if anything, he took his time being the bigger man. Like, you know, when you're the bigger man against a smaller man, and you tend to take your time a bit more. Like, that for me is more of a natural quality of a heel. But both of them were still getting props to a face versus face match.
Yeah.
But it was Guinness who got a gash in his back then during the match. I think it was after during a dive from Corvin, and I think he probably got his chair in the back or something like that.
Yeah.
But Corvin got a good few near falls, but Max was still resilient. And in the end, though, it was Corvin who hit 3 big boots in a row before Guinness reversed the suplex into a cradle for the win. So it was a bit of a surprise victory, because Corvin, who was, a lot of people were hyping his single, or how he get on as a singles match. But it was a very close match, and now they're 1-on-1 the Tivoli, so they could have a decider now in one of the last Tivoli shows.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so they both showed respect after the match, and that was that. Now, Be Cool versus Dan Barry. Now, Dan Barry is like the Ace Ventura of wrestling, in a way. Like, imagine Ace Ventura if he was a wrestler, except without the pets.
Okay.
He came out with like pink shorts and like a Hawaiian shirt with no sleeves. Barry showed his honesty at the start though, because he came out and said, "Listen, you guys have Walter, David Starr, Jordan Devlin to see. No one cares about me. So I just went to Be Cool. How about we just get drunk?" So a great reaction from the crowd. And Cool said, "Yeah, well, I didn't want the match anyway." And Barry was like, "Yeah, like Cool's the marionette of this team," and that really turned Be Cool the wrong way. He was furious by that. And because I had Be Cool going after Barry, but then Dan Barry, who had all these, he came out of nowhere, all these moves. First of all, you know that tumble that Ryan Smiley used to do from over the turnbuckle. He did that.
I saw that from the preview video on YouTube.
He did it with such lack of effort. It was incredible. And so it's impressive technique with other moves. Like, some of his moves were just flawless to watch. And he came over, and all of a sudden he was over as hell.
Damn, ref, they're illegal.
What happens?
Pointed elbows from Loki on David Starr, like from midnight to 6. They're illegal, going straight down like that. You can't do that. Come on, Foxy.
That's how
Come on, Foxy. Read the real book.
That's how Jones got disqualified against Hamill.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Read the real book, for God's sakes.
But all of a sudden, like, here's Dan Barry, who no one knew anything about. He was probably the most over man of the night. To the point where Be Cool is getting a few boos.
Oh.
And all of a sudden...
Oh my God.
What happens?
Walter just hit his first chop, and basically David Starr's legs just gave out.
Oh no.
You know?
But
I kind of want to just go back to that point and play it with the sound on, because I'm sure that was awful. I'm sure it was absolutely awful.
Can only imagine. Well, his reaction is enough, I suppose, isn't it?
Oh, it's just his legs crumbled. They were gone.
But anyway, like, here's Dan Barry. He gets all these random chants involving Dan. Like, you had like people in the crowd were doing like putting Dan into like the match of the day theme. John Cena's team and Roman Reigns' team. So it's like dan 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 dan, and then it had John Cena's team. It was like dan 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 dan, and it had like Roman Reigns. It was like dan 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 dan, and it just kept going for the whole match. It was so funny then when Be Cool asked for all security to cushion him as he dived onto Barry from the outside, because obviously he's still cautious after his fall in Scrappermania. And then he did it, but then here comes Dan Barry from the other side of the ring. He crawled under the ring and came up at the other side. And it looked like then Barry had Be Cool beat with a moonsault slam. Like, you know, imagine he had like Be Cool in like a follow-away slam position, but rather than just doing a follow-away slam, he moonsaulted while still carrying him into like a slam. I've never seen anything like that before. It's so cool. It shows strength and ability to do that. And
you know how Austin's thing was he's gonna stomp a mud hole into someone?
yeah,
That should be Low-Key's thing, because literally he just stomped a hole through David Starr in the corner.
really.
Unbelievable.
And then it looked like it was going to be over between Barry had Cool beat with that moonsault slam until Barry threatened Foxy with an angel grinder. And then Barry came out with his fake gun. He called it a Beretta 9.2 6-piece standard issue police pistol. I felt like getting that name right. And that brought Angel back down to ring. So it's like, okay, no, I don't want to let us do with that. Be Cool then eventually beat Barry after a top rope DDT and his brainbuster. Some boos from the crowd, but that's only because Dan Barry was so over.
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing.
Boo, Be Cool.
It's because
He's a tank.
he's a hardy tank.
That's
But it was but it's amazing how someone can come over just like that and just get over as hell all out of nowhere, to the point where it creates some boos from some sections of the crowd to one of the regulars. Goes to show you. I want to see.
I guess everyone is entitled to their opinion.
Of course, yeah. Now the Rapture and defended their OTT tag team titles against Pete Dunne, Mark Haskins, and a mystery partner.
Jordan, why are you doing this?
What's happened now?
Oh!
Sounds painful.
So David Starr's in a full crab and a full Boston crab. Walter has it locked in. Jordan comes in and tries to chop Walter off David Starr. Walter's like, come on, you can do better than that. Then he does it. He lets go of David Starr, gets up and just chops Jordan into row Z, I think.
Oh no.
Oh.
Anyway, the crowds were quick to remind Zach Gibson about Liverpool's
I
unfortunate...
don't know which are worse, Keith Lee's or Walter's.
What if they had a chop off before?
They would have had to.
Imagine, yeah.
They would have had to.
They fought for the PW title, so PWG title, excuse me.
Yeah.
The crowds were quick to remind Zach Gibson about Liverpool's unfortunate Champions League final against Real Madrid, with chants of Gareth Bale and Karras #1 chants. But then Dunne and Haskins' opponent was revealed as the Boozerweight Martina. Martina came back from her stint in Japan as the Boozerweight, which was a match that was supposed to be advertised before she left, but it never happened, obviously, down to weather conditions. And it was Martina who tried to get Dunne to play to the same antics as her, like, you know, because she came out with a gum shield and a fake title belt, and like doing all this the same the same taunts he does, and she even reached for her
crowd are going mad.
You reach for her Mr. Direct Stone until Pete Dunne was like, okay, I'll do the same. Look, little finger. And that was that, but it never worked. And then Martina, although she fought back when it was just her and the Rapture eventually
Jordan's
won.
chest is in bits.
Can only imagine. Does it have welts?
Oh yes.
Oh god. Rapture eventually won after giving Martina a spike pile driver, and it was Haskins who attacked Martina after the match before Pete Dunne walked off too. So looks like an interesting return for Martina so far. So that may be the homecoming she expected.
No, probably not. But she gets a proper homecoming now for the next show.
Indeed.
When she's, I think it really ties the room together. That's the name of the next show, isn't it? When she's having a
mixed tag match, I think. So
mixed tag match with Trent against Ginny and TK Cooper. And did you see the backlash that match got?
No.
A few people on Twitter are not happy about this
because
mostly complaining that the only matches females are in now on OTT at the moment are intergender matches, and they're asking where, like, is the women's OTT title even a title anymore. And just, I feel this is a little premature from people because it's only 2 matches that are announced. One's an intergender match, but you probably will have a single female match. And they're in a difficult position at the moment. You've got to realize this from OTT's perspective. Exactly. Sami Zayn unfortunately broke her ankle a couple of weeks ago. She's out for like the next 3 months or something like that. She said. You can take obviously you can take the title off her, but you just had a Defiant show that crowned a new champion. You can't have another tournament so quickly. I don't think you can.
They might have one in November, I heard, or October, I heard.
Yeah, another Defiant show, that's fine, but you can't expect them to have another tournament now right away just for that. And it's only 2 matches of a 7 or 8 match card. So there's still 5, maybe 6 more matches to be announced. I think it's just hold off a second, okay?
Well, they're trying to figure out what to do, I imagine.
Yeah, they're still figuring, and people are like
give them a chance
going mental at Joe saying his booking's terrible and stuff like this. But it's like, people just gotta calm down. There's still 6 more matches to be announced. 1, if not 2 of them will probably be female matches, and I wouldn't be surprised by that. Yes, intergender wrestling is the thing that is popular right now.
Yeah.
You know? And you want women to be equal to the men. And this is what you're getting now. You're getting women against men in matches. And I know you want the female against the female matches. We all do, because you do still get the male versus the male matches as well.
Yeah.
But that will happen. You know?
It just takes patience.
Yeah, and in terms of when you're talking about the women's title as well, you just got to have patience as well, because they don't know what they're doing at the moment, because this injury came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, if they had known that Sami Zayn was going to be injured at this point, they would have changed the titles at Scrappermania if they knew she was going to get injured. But they didn't. So they kept the title on Sami because they thought she was going to be the one to defend it. And I bet you they probably had a match scheduled either for a Haven for Monsters show that we just witnessed, or for the upcoming one that really ties the room together. By the way, love the name, Big Lebowski reference.
Yes.
That they probably would have had her defending her title at that as well. People just, they know as much as you what they're going to do right now. Probably they obviously probably know a little more, but they have to think on their feet at the moment. So just cut them a little slack.
Well, let's on that. Would you think then that even if the title is not involved in women wrestling in OTT, like it doesn't have to be the case. Like we easily have, I don't know, like it could be the opportunity
like
for one of the contenders to step up now.
Ginny and Martina have been announced, okay?
Right.
You still have Katie, you still have Debbie Cattell, you still have Raven Creed if you want to bring it to the Tivoli as well.
Yeah.
Matches will be announced, and you can get people over from England to do it.
Absolutely.
You know? There's the likes of Charlie Evans, there's the likes of what's her name? Is it Dahlia Black, isn't it? As well. There's Laura DiMatteo.
Is Dahlia Black ever been to OTT?
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't think she has.
No, not that I'm aware
Laura
of.
DiMatteo was in the Defiant show.
You've got, like, if you want to, you've got Lauren LaRue up there, and
Charlie Evans.
PWU as well.
Yeah.
There's so many. Just be patient, lads.
Yeah.
That's all I really wanted to say on it was just, lads, be patient. Come on.
It'll reap its rewards soon. Like
By the way, missed some great sequences in the tag match with that. Some fantastic. Jordan and David are trying so hard to get Walter down for 3, but it just can't happen.
What?
Jordan went for a second rope springboard and Walter caught him in a choke. Oh no.
Choke slam?
No, in a chokehold, like a sleeper.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. Walter, or Low-Key is holding back David. Sorry, he's trying to get in. He can't do it. Oh, I think that could be it. Oh, he's making Jordan look at David's there.
What's going on?
Oh, he's just like killing his chest.
Oh no.
Oh, that's it. Sleeper. Oh, it's locked in now. That's it. You got to tap Jordan. You've got to. Yeah, he does.
He taps out.
Interesting. So a Walter versus Jordan match maybe for the title?
I wouldn't be mad at that.
He's earned the title shot.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Yeah.
He's the first person to beat the Devlin in God knows how long. The first import to beat the import killer.
Yep.
Now the co-main event was LJ Cleary defending his gender-neutral title against Chris Wolf and Tyler Bates.
Yeah, he just made the sign for the belt. Walter wants it.
A knackered Foxy was replaced by Trent Seven as the referee for this match, which is very interesting because here's Tyler Bates, who is their tag team partner, and here is LJ Cleary. They had a match in the arena not too long ago, and so I think Trent has sort of hasn't forgotten that what he said about him, like about him on that show. I think LJ went called Pete Dunne's dad or something like that. So. But in the early pin attempt, Trent struggled with his bad knee after counting down for LJ, but was quicker for Tyler. Tyler got some boos in this match, especially after it was a weird crowd. Like they were sort of very decisive when it comes to who they were picking. And it was either LJ was by far the most over in this match.
Oh!
What's going on now?
Oh, Mark Haskins just after coming out.
With the contracts.
Yeah.
Is he cashing in?
No, he can't. He's not going to. He can't. He's just letting them know that he's there.
Oh, okay.
I think he's going to let them know that he's there. Because David Starr's still in the ring too.
Oh, David Starr. Is he like taking a claim now?
No, because he's just consoling Jordan after losing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, Mark is just... Yeah. He's just saying, hi, Jordan. Remember, I have this.
And he has Will Ospreay
That's
as well.
good. Keeps Jordan in his mind.
And he has Will Ospreay in the background somewhere as well, so... But no, Tyler got some boos when Gorilla pressing Wolf out of ringside. LJ got some heat as well by pulling the tail of Wolf off at one stage. But there's a stage, one of the best spots in this match was when Tyler was swinging both Wolf and LJ at the same time. So he had LJ up on his shoulders and Chris Wolf, I think, on the ground. And so they're doing the big swing at the same time. So it was a class spot. But then it looked like LJ had Wolf beat. But then Trent Seven did a Shane McMahon at Survivor Series 98 by flipping the finger. 1, 2. Have that. Then Tyler accidentally punched Trent before Wolf hit a Meteora on Tyler, and then LJ cradled Wolf for the win, and that was that. They all did a big bleh afterwards with Don. So as Don put it, not a bleh. Alright, he'll be blehing for hours. I love that quote so much. And that's OTT then. So what's happening now at the end now? Is it over?
Just the guys are walking out. He's not happy. He's really not happy, and you can understand after losing. And he knows Walter's coming his way soon.
Yeah. And
he knows that Jordan or that Mark Haskins is waiting in the background too, with that golden briefcase.
It'll be interesting to see what happens here now. So that's a huge shock, isn't it? So. Okay, I'll be interested to see how that happens myself. But anyway, that's all our results from OTT. Now, when we return, we will continue our results of the week with WWE, starting with Raw after a short break.
In the future, roving bands of comic book podcasts will savage the wasteland, once known as the Internet. One podcast, the Grawlix Podcast, may not be the biggest, may not be the funniest, may not be the most well-spoken. Wait, what was my point again? Oh yes, the Grawlix Podcast. Listen to it at grawlixpodcast.com. That's GRAWLIX podcast.com.
We're back here on the Kickout, your weekly pro wrestling guides. Now let's continue our results of the week now with WWE Raw.
Welcome to Monday Night Raw!
Alright, you know what? Actually, hang on. I'm going to put this down for a second, because you know what? I don't know about you, Darragh, but this... Like, I don't know, Raw this week in particular, and I'm not saying it's accumulation of things, but just from this episode in particular, it just felt like such a chore to watch.
WWE in general.
Well, Raw in particular. Their flagship shows.
Since the change up after Mania, it's getting harder and harder to watch Raw on a weekly basis, and like, I don't enjoy it.
It has its good points, don't get me wrong.
I struggle to find one.
Elias is one example to that.
They don't push him enough.
True, but at least they're...
He's a gimmick. He's not taken seriously.
It's fun to watch, though. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Like, WWE has claimed so many times of how they make movies, how they tell stories, how they create moments, how they're good listeners, and I use that with inverted brackets. But their TV... Especially Raw, like SmackDown is improving a bit now. Like it has improved a bit. It's not that much better.
SmackDown has the better roster. Yeah.
It's not, the quality of the show is not great. It's not NXT level. NXT and 205 Live is by far the best thing you can watch on WWE. I've said this for weeks,
and I'm buying into it.
And exactly, yeah, 205 is so good lately.
Yeah.
So good. And NXT is brilliant.
And there's one common thread about that.
What? Triple H? Yeah. But the weekly TV from Raw especially, at least this week, it was just it actually pains me to review this. Like, you know, we're going to talk about it anyway, but I just have to get this across because
I don't know whether we should, to be honest.
Well, I don't know.
I don't think we should.
We'll mention bits. We'll mention it casually, and then that's that.
Okay, here's the bits, right?
Okay.
Braun broke a ladder. There you go. Done.
I will say
Braun's being pushed to the hilt.
I will say something about that,
but he's not going to win the match.
But I will say something about that, though.
Sami Zayn and Bobby Lashley are having probably the worst rivalry in existence right now.
I don't even know what they're doing with that.
Not even rivalry, feud.
Let me go back to Strowman and Rude. Maybe they could be turning Rude heel now on that because he said yes to use tactics.
I saw a report actually about that Bobby Roode's YouTube clips don't break 400,000 views on YouTube on a weekly basis. People do not buy into Bobby Roode as a face. He's a heel. That's who he is.
But here's the thing. He says he has to use heel. He has to use all his tactics at Money in the Bank to win. And you see the way he was in the match where he was running away from Braun? That's heelish. It's a matter of time. Has to be done.
But is it going to improve?
It should.
Is it going? It's not, man. It's not. There's so much better stuff out there from the Indies, from New Japan, from Ring of Honor. Even Impact is getting better.
That's saying a lot, isn't it?
You know, and I think it's like we mentioned it on the news story about it, but you weren't here that week.
Yeah.
That when All In sold out in half an hour, that's the biggest indictment of WWE at the moment than anything else, I believe.
Yeah, probably.
People are flocking because they'd rather watch these guys instead of your guys.
Enough said.
You have had the monopoly on wrestling in America for the last 20 years at least.
And to an extent you probably still will, regardless.
Because you can afford to put the money into it. And you will always attract the bigger stars.
And you have kids watching it, and that's where their main attraction is. That's where guys like John Cena and Roman Reigns will always probably still be face.
Exactly. And a nice way of I summed that up perfectly, I think, because I will always think I've summed up everything perfectly. That a kid wanting to see a wrestling show, right, is actually paying for 2 tickets because you're paying for the adult as well to go with them.
Okay.
For an adult that wants to go and see a wrestling show, all I need is buy one. So there you go. They're beating them 2-1 by that stage. But I have not heard about. You remember when Raw was at its top? Was at the very top of its game, and Smackdown was at the top of its game, and all the pay-per-views were at the top of its game. It was brilliant, like Attitude, Aggression Era, blah blah blah. They'd always open up with "Welcome to a sellout," da 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 da. Welcome to a sellout, da 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 da. Welcome to a sellout, da 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 da.
They're not saying that anymore, are they?
They don't say that anymore. No. They say welcome to a packed da 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 da. That's where the camera picks you to choose.
Welcome to a packed section.
Welcome to the packed C section there, in just beside the ring that we have to move from all the other ones as well. You know, and we're gonna see it in 2 weeks' time where an NXT show is going to outdo a WWE show again.
It always does.
It always
does. Anyway.
But yet nothing's done about it. The only thing that they do is they bring them up to the main roster and they kill them. That's it. Where's Authors of Pain been?
Oh God, where's Sanity been?
Where's Sanity been?
You're right.
You know?
We'll just get to...
There you go, you summed up perfectly as well. What did they do to Bobby Roode when they brought him up? Turn him face.
And it worked for a while, but it obviously doesn't work anymore.
It never worked. No, it did. No, Dave, come on. Let's be real here.
After a month.
Compare him.
After a month.
Compare him to his run in NXT as heel, to his run in WWE main roster as face. Yeah. There's no comparison.
There's no comparison. I agree with you there, but the point is...
The first month he had a pop because he was coming over. Then people realised, like, oh, they're actually keeping him face. Why? No.
Well, the crowd sort of made him face because he was over as hell with his team.
Yeah. The only success, I believe, they've had from people coming up from NXT is Samoa Joe.
Elias to an extent. He's a filler for Raw and a good one at that. No, I agree. Samoa Joe's by far the best.
Samoa Joe, I think, is the only success
Ever.
I believe so.
Oh, wait a minute.
And unfortunately, I include Finn on that. What have they done with Finn?
He's been in the title.
No,
well,
he
won
hasn't.
the title, but he's been back from injury. Ever since he came back from injury.
What have they done with him?
He's been there.
He's been there.
He's been there.
He's been there.
He's in the top there.
But that's the comment. You just summed up. That's brilliant. Because that is what has been happening with NXT superstars since they've gone up. They've been there. The Revival, the best tag team that NXT have had for years.
Yeah, the Revival.
What have they done?
See, that's not what annoys me about Raw at the moment. Like, because at the end of the day, like all these guys will probably eventually get their time.
It's not Raw, it's WWE main roster in general.
That's fine. But the thing that annoys me the most is, regardless of who they have on their roster, it seems like the booking is so weird right now. So weird. I mean, to be fair, some of the matches serve their purpose. I mean, you have the match between Elias and Jinder Mahal against Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. It served its purpose. Maybe it was solid. Maybe a bit overlooked.
How many times do you have to have that match?
But serves. It goes into Money in the Bank. It builds up from Money in the Bank. That's the point of it. But it serves its purpose. End of story.
It builds up for what is probably going to be the main event, which is disgraceful. Jinder Mahal against Roman Reigns.
Oh, if that's main event, that makes no sense. You know what? Here's a funny thing about this week. Roman Reigns got a cheer. Apparently, here's what I find funny. Apparently, Brock Lesnar, the reason he's still champion at the moment, Universal Champion, is because apparently Reigns was so in heat that they were afraid to make him change champion. He got cheered then. Here's what you're saying. Have Brock on standby on a week when he might be cheered and have him win the title then.
It's only because there's certain towns that are Roman, what can I say, Roman friendly. There's not a lot of them though. There is a few. They go through them every now and again.
Yeah.
And how do you know? Like, it was a Roman cheer because he was teamed with Seth.
Probably.
You know?
Yeah.
That's a success. Sorry, there's another one.
What?
That's a success from NXT.
Seth Rollins. The Shield, and like all of them came from the NXT.
Yeah.
Big E, he came from NXT. He's now at the New Day. Xavier Woods was in NXT. Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens. Enough said.
What was Kevin Owens doing?
What?
What was Kevin Owens doing?
Everything before that.
What was Kevin Owens? Apart from his title run that he got, which was great.
And his great rivalries with Sami Zayn and he involved in huge story.
But what was the match quality like between him and Sami Zayn? Okay.
Always great.
Minus that Battleground match, which was fantastic. But his matches compared to the ones that he had in NXT, this is the thing, they go down a level.
Okay, but that's not the point. The point is how they book. They're booking WWE quality TV. That's the main argument here, as opposed to what they're doing in NXT talent. Like, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the point in having Baron Corbin as a constable?
Oh,
give him a bobby hat, for God's sake. It's the same story we've had for God knows how long. It's almost like Stephanie is there. She's not even there and she's cutting balls off. It's the same old story. We don't need that. You know? I mean,
I just...
It's interesting to see where it's going to go on, but why?
I just devote way too much time to WWE, and I'm going to have to take a backward step.
That's fine. I don't blame you whatsoever. This is like... I mean, the whole Nia Jax Natalya match... I mean, she was heel. She was heel last week. Now she's gone back face again after this whole injury thing. And now there's all this confusion about when they're both backstage. I'm sorry, get away. Listen, give me time to myself. What are they doing? Where is that? How does that make sense? I mean, it goes back.
I did see a thing where
apparently Nia's face.
I did see a great meme of that during the week. It was one of Big Show saying she does what is it? She's big like me. She turns face and heel as quickly as me. She's my daughter, Nia Jax.
I can't argue with that. I really can't argue with that. But it seems like the Crave don't know what to do with her. They really don't. Apparently she's face on house shows. Apparently. But why are they going back after the promo? It just makes no sense. It really doesn't. The number one contender battle royale. I mean, I struggle to see the point. I struggle to see the points why McIntyre and Ziggler were first eliminated, but maybe it's just to show their dominance in a way. But I don't know. I don't know. The way that it's been booked as well just confuses me. Again, we go back to Revival. They're involved in this match, and they were third gone. And here's Slater and Rhino still getting in the mix with the B team. It was just... I can't even describe that match. But again, another thing about here's another thing that all these things you share in common. You're not emotionally invested in this thing right now. I'm not even going to get to fucking Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn.
I don't care.
You know?
I don't care.
The match between Kevin Owens and Sami and Finn Balor wasn't bad. But here's the whole point of this whole thing. Here's the whole point. It feels like a chore. And all this is what we watch. Again, all these things have in common to me is that they rarely have any real consequences. It's just content. It just fills a show. There's no thought
they're just
going
going week by week.
Exactly, pretty much. They're not really thinking. It doesn't seem like I've always been optimistic that there's always a bigger story to it.
Mm-hmm.
You're I sense you're always the opposite, where you're like, no, it's short-term booking all the time.
It's always short-term.
Unfortunately, I agree with you now.
It's always short-term booking.
But it's so much evidence now. The stories are so loose that I can't feel emotionally attached with anything here. Anything.
No.
The closest is probably Elias.
But maybe
Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler as well.
But we know where that's going.
What, heel turn for one of them?
We know that McIntyre's going to turn on Ziggler to launch his own singles career. We know this.
That makes more sense.
You know,
that's it.
There's no like, oh, I can't wait for them. They may make great tag team. They could hold that tag because we know what's going to happen.
It wasn't even average, this show. It was below average. Now, I'm not one to rant about anything. I usually like to see the positives in this, but it's just it was
hashtag Dave rant.
I know you enjoy these. I mean, I know you're enjoying.
I love them because I do it too much. Someone else needs to.
I know, but we're in unison with this one, I suppose.
Yeah.
Let's stop here. Let's move on anyway. Let's talk about SmackDown.
Come on to the Rock Show, to the premiere show, SmackDown.
Which I don't know about you, is we're keeping the music on. Like, enough, anyway.
Yeah.
We'll get to it very quickly, anyway. Like I feel you're in a bit of a mood after all that. Like, the whole thing with...
Not even mood, it's just not caring, you know?
Alright, well, Carmella and Asuka, this whole thing that Carmella's doing at the moment, where she says that Asuka's confidence is shattered since Mania, and she doesn't fear Asuka because she's money, and Asuka was on the field, but now everyone's ready for Asuka. And then Asuka comes down, but then Rose and Deville come down, saying they're a second away from beating Asuka last time, and then a page puts them, okay, well, Asuka, which one do you want in the match? I'll have both. And, I mean, it's kind of strange. Like, delivery wasn't bad from Carmella, but I don't know. It's kind of strange that the way they had that. Like, it's solid enough to continue the issues with Asuka. And
but this is a easy product of the short-term booking right now.
Yeah, probably.
Asuka beats them.
True.
They cost Asuka the match at Money in the Bank.
But at least it sells. At least it sells.
It's clear as day. You know, I'll mention a couple of things about this match because
okay, go for it.
This is actually the first time I watched SmackDown in full.
Okay.
Apart from like YouTube highlights in the last couple of weeks. And first of all, the botch by Sonya Deville, where she was meant to go under Asuka's knee and end up getting kneed in the head. But then, that's a down. Hey, cultaholic stuff, ups and downs. Hey. The up, as this match is, I should smack my head. I'm like Simon Miller right now.
Like Louis Van Gaal hitting Ryan Giggs in the back of the head.
Yeah, the up and the sequence that led to the end of the match, I thought was actually pretty good from these two.
It was.
Both using like MMA backgrounds to get into the Asuka lock for the win. I thought it was actually a highlight of the match.
Yeah,
for sure.
New Day tried to do like a weird apology to Miz, that saying they're taking Miz very seriously because Miz gave him a reality check. They want Miz to draw a name of the hat to who will choose, but then they had Miz blindfolded and they switched the hat to a hat filled with pancake batter, much to Miz's amusement. So that was funny.
It was alright.
Harper took on Carl Anderson. Anderson got like a bit of an upset win. Here's the commentary heavily playing up the champions are undefeated in tag team action, but the quick win was to try and create hope for the Good Brothers. But
No.
makes no difference.
No.
Naomi versus Jimmy Uso. Sorry, Naomi and Jimmy Uso against Lana and Aiden English. It was a solid match. It had its fun moments. They played off the angle from last week. It ended when Uso runs wild, hit the Samoan club bake at 2, whereas Lana made the save. She slapped Uso and Naomi took her out. English attacked and knocked Uso before Naomi wiped him out with a high cross, and Uso hit the super kick for the win.
Playing off the whole throat thing. You know,
Okay, now
super kick in the throat.
Now here's one thing about SmackDown. Styles Nakamura, the way it's been hyped. Now we know the matches haven't been great, but Nakamura as a heel.
Matches have been fine. It's the finishes that haven't been
Okay,
great.
okay, but Nakamura as a heel. Sure,
Nakamura as a heel is fantastic.
it's brilliant.
Yeah.
So that's something we can be invested.
But the problem,
I can anyway. Not about yourself.
I can get invested in Nakamura as a heel,
But
he has to be champ.
do you think this will be it then?
It has to be, because like they said, this is the last match. There will be a winner. Nakamura has to win the title if you are if you want to get behind this guy as a heel.
It's certainly
Because what does he do next after this?
It's certainly, you're right. I agree with you. It certainly seems like Styles is like being the victim of Nakamura's mind games here, because he lost his temper when Nakamura said, "No, this pen is out of ink. No, this pen is broken." Eventually slaps him, and then
I love that thing where it gets into like a Bruno Mars song and it's just repeating the clap like that. Did you not hear? Did you not see that? No.
No.
Oh, damn.
There's a meme for that.
There is. I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah, please do.
A meme. It's a meme.
A meme, sorry. Me and modern things. Becky Lynch took on Charlotte. It was actually a class match because, and it's good to see Becky win because, it seems like Charlotte seems to always have Becky's numbers in these sort of matches. But in the end, it was Charlotte heads up top, moonsault eats knees, then Lynch rolled her up, and after several counters, it was Charlotte who countered the finger 4 into the disarmer. Becky who countered the finger 4 into the disarmer, and then Charlotte tapped. That was that. They showed respect afterwards. The big Cass promo. Here's something we definitely can't be invested in. Cass is like the cure for insomnia, you know that?
I thought Man United were.
We're fans of Manchester United.
That's why I could say it.
He said that Bryan's win last night and at Backlash were absolute flukes, and Bryan's packs a punch for a little man, but a good big man will always be a good little man. Where's the good big man? Where is the good big man? He can be a good big man, but I don't think he's a good big man yet.
I like the intensity of Daniel Bryan's rebuttal though. Did you see that?
I haven't seen it yet.
You should. It's really good. It's really good.
In the end, though, Bryan said he's never been to the ring with a man like Cass. He goes on to say that Bryan should take his ball and go home and be a garden gong from Total Bellas, and realise he's a pathetic little man and he'll never survive in a big man's world. It was a good promo, to be fair, but I can't get interested in it. The only reason I'm interested in that rivalry is because it's Daniel Bryan. End of story.
Yeah.
They had
because we're also invested in Daniel Bryan at the moment.
Exactly. Almas Almas attacked Sin Cara backstage after Zelina Vega said that she's the best thing to ever happen to Almas, and Cara and then Sin Cara made him weak. And then the main event between New Day against Rusev, Miz, and Samoa Joe. Now, the only reason I first saw this match and thought, why is Rusev with Miz and Samoa Joe? Oh, because they're involved in Money in the Bank. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And it was a good match. Solid main events. They used the time well. Added to the match. And it's Miz playing to his downfall all the time by making the mistakes. That's always seems to be his thing. It was Kofi who took out Rusev, and Biggie hit the suicide spear for Miz, but then Joe took out Woods and Rusev took out Kofi. Miz got the pancakes and threw it at Joe and Rusev accident, but then Rusev wiped him out with a master kick. They bail on Miz, and then New Day hits the midnight hour and puts Miz away for that.
I found it. Do you want to listen to it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I'm going to put this down here.
Yeah, I'm going to put the music off now.
Okay.
Sorry about the moving mics. Go ahead.
I'm fine. I mean, Jimmy Squirrel used a sexy mother.
Give me your attention, baby.
Is that
Listen,
same to the slap? Is it
What?
same to the slap of the face?
Same slap, yeah. They just keep repeating it, and then it's the Bruno Mars song. It's brilliant.
Oh god,
So good.
yeah. Anyway, it should be. Anyway, let's move on to the wrestling we want to talk about now. First of all, 205 Live. First of all, Brian Kendrick took on Lindsay Dorado. Very good match overall. This is what I like about it. Like, see, every rivalry they have here, it adds one bit. Like, even though it seems like they're booking one match of the week, it seems it's adding to next week. What happens next week now? What happens this week? Because every match is in response to something that happened the week before, or something that will go on to the next week.
Okay,
that has to work. That's simple booking as far as I can tell.
Yeah,
it ended when what happened? It was Dorado hit a suicide dive and Gulak distracted him, allowing Kendrick to toss Dorado into Metalik and back in. Dorado hit the lethal injection for the win. But post-match, it was Gulak who was in commentary attacking the Lucha Party. And then next week is going to be the full Lucha House Party: Dorado, Kalisto, and Dorado, Kalisto, and Metalik to take on Gulak, Gallagher, and Kendrick.
Got it, the second attempt. Fair play.
TJP took on a Brian Keat. And it was just one of these basically jobber matches where at the start it was like TJP grabbed the mic and said he hates to do this, but Keats in front of his friends and family and beats him down as he basically monologues and complains about Maverick not knowing how to use him. He hits a curve stomp and then it says another GM, another brand may appreciate him more. He keeps talking and working submission, so he's basically doing commentary whilst he's doing his match, taking it on Keith Lee. I'm actually okay with that. Because he's trying to find a way to get to be appreciated, and this works if you ask me. So
yeah, okay, I believe it. I will sit down and start watching more 205 Live. I promise you, because it's like you said, it's the best thing to watch. So I'm gonna have to believe that. Leo
Rush is coming to 205 Live.
I saw. It's a strange move.
I like it because the way 205 Live is and the way his style is, it's perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
He released a video package claiming he's the best and living legend, and it's only a matter of time before 205 Live feels the rush.
Are you bringing that that huge lad that was there with him beforehand too?
I don't think so.
He was in the Greatest Royal Rumble. I can't remember what his name
was.
I
know who you're talking about. I have no idea. Maybe, who knows? Now Mustafa Ali versus Buddy Murphy. Now again, another very good outing from both these men, who have developed quite the chemistry as well. They always seem to have these two guys are really have good matches. Things were going well until Hideo Itami arrived and started crying about respect again, and ended up having a disqualification finish. So it was Murphy who was angry and was talking crap to Ali, but Ali tripped on the apron and hit a wild tornado DDT off the buckles in the floor, and then was looking for the 054, but Hideo Itami arrived and attacked for the DQ, and then attacked Murphy as well, and so tall. I have no issue with the DQ finish because neither of them lost, neither Murphy or Murphy.
Just add someone into the title picture as well.
Exactly, and that's the whole point of it as well. So he's focused on the title shots, and he has never had a title in. It's hard to believe he's never had a title in WWE. Yes,
he spent a lot of his time out injured though.
It's true, but it's never seemed to be in thought of. It's like, oh wow, you're right, he hasn't been involved in all this. So certainly interesting to see how things come across. Now NXT, which is by far the best thing you can watch at the moment. It's a shame we couldn't do NXT last week because that was class as well. But anyway, it started off with Shayna Baszler coming out, talking about the thievery of because last week Nikki Cross stole her NXT Women's title.
Yeah.
Now, of course, Nikki Cross, who was Insanity, she's still in NXT at the moment. She proved she will waste harsh reality last week when she disseminates Dakota Kai, and then she's stronger, faster, and better. But last week Nikki Cross got involved, and if she ever does again, it'll be the last thing he does. Out comes Cross, a little bottle ready to scrap, and here Baszler says that she ever pulls something like that again, she'll make her pay. And here's Nikki basically threatened to put her to sleep. Or here's Baszler keep on threatening, and then Baszler threatened to put her to sleep, and then Nikki's like, "Come on, do it then, do it." And there's and they got the crowd, "Do it, do it, do it." And she scares her, but she goes to attack her like that, and Baszler retreated, and then they get into a brawl. And Baszler lays out then Cross and then sends her to the floor, but then Nikki battles back and hits her with a crossbody off the top and sends Baszler to the floor. So that's a good opening segment because it's interesting because here's Shayna Baszler who's a badass, and here's Nikki Cross who's crazy as hell. And so any intimidation tactics, like you see how Shayna Baszler's been intimidating the likes of Dakota Kai, it won't work on Nikki Cross because she's a psychopath. Shortly announced after, it'll be Baszler versus Cross at TKO Chicago.
That'd be a great match.
That's a good match.
That's going to be a great match.
TM61 took on Jimmy and Johnny Boots again. That's what I like to call my jobbers, so I don't know. And
At least you're not calling them Jobby McJobbersons.
I like that name better.
It's not a good name.
Anyway, TM61 used shady tactics, even against jobbers. Again, teasing a heel. They sort of are heels at the moment. Like, they're not officially heels, but they are heels.
Yeah.
But like they sort of officially turned heel in this way. Like, because what happens was, here's Miller, who's being a bit of a muppet at the moment.
Yeah.
Here's Former cuts off one of them, and then Torm hits Northern Lariat for the win. And after the match, they did a post-match proclaiming they're the best team in NXT. Roderick Strong took on Danny Burch 1-on-1. It was a good short but sweet match. It keeps the feud going between the Undisputed Era against Burch, Oney Lorcan, and Pete Dunne. It was Butch who connected with uppercuts and a missile drop kick, and then more uppercuts were followed by a German and a huge lariat before Cole and O'Reilly got involved. And then Lorcan and Dunn fought them off. Burch then looked for a crossface, but as Strong fights, Cole distracts the ref, and then Burch takes him out before Strong hits his backbreaker for the win. Post-match then, Dunn tries to attack Strong, but then the numbers get in his way, and then Strong and O'Reilly lay him out as well. Kairi Sane took on Lacey Evans. This is like their third match now in the last month, I think. Now they have a bit of a good rivalry going at the moment. And for a change, like we saw how the difference of Lacey Evans has come off with this rivalry. Here's Sane now showing a more aggressive side, playing a pretty cool outing and seemingly ending the feuds. Hopefully, it's just maybe move her on. So who knows? Maybe whoever wins between Cross and Spacer will be next for Sane, maybe, or Sane could take on the winner of that now.
Possibly.
As for Evans, she's gotten so good.
Yeah,
like some of the spots she did, like a slingshot elbow drop, how she drops into the mat and follows into a Bronco Buster. Like, it's like she has such good athleticism. She did a Marrow Salt, by the way, which if you don't know, she's on the second rope, she jumps up onto behind and does a moonsault. You don't see that nowadays. It's awesome.
She's definitely gone, and she's definitely upped her game, because she was just there caught in the mid card.
100%.
And now she's gone back, she's worked hard, she's making that push now, ever since the Mae Young Classic, to start going towards the title now.
Yeah. And
I wouldn't be surprised to see her in a title match sooner rather than later, or at least challenging to be the challenger.
Absolutely. Now, obviously, the biggest rivalry in wrestling right now, certainly in WWE, the Gargano Ciampa segments, where Ciampa gets a usual warm welcome in NXT. He takes his time, he soaks through the heat, seems to make him stronger. He takes his seat in the buckles and says that fans gave up on him long before he gave up, the fans gave up on him long before he gave up on them. He says he's disgusted by the fans and how he'll keep talking. They can shut up and listen or not. He doesn't care. He starts mocking the chants and says that he can spare them, and runs down Gargano for not making it about him. He says apparently Johnny Wrestling is now Johnny Badass. It's adorable considering he almost crippled his wife. The best part is it's all on Gargano. He brought Candice out to the ring. Johnny attacked him and then defended himself. The truth hurts. Johnny said he should have listened to his wife. It's all on Johnny. Don't show up at TakeOver, because the fairy tale's going to come to an end. Your wife is broken, you'll be broken, and Ciampa will win. Out comes Gargano, brawls with security, and then they get into another brawl. More security arrives. Gargano keeps attacking. They go back and forth into the ring. They dive on each other out of the seating on top of security.
Yeah.
Then Ciampa stomps the crap out of Gargano and puts him on the Gargano escape before referees drag him out. Then Gargano does his evil wave to close the show. But Gargano then attacks the refs and again attacks Ciampa, hits his head repeatedly in the LED board before busting him open and putting him on the escape as a bloody Ciampa taps out. I mean...
Yeah, he cracked him, didn't he?
He did.
Cracked him open.
I mean... Ed, if anyone thinks this feud is losing heat, they're taking such excellent good angles to this. They're adding a new twist to it, especially now that Candice LeRae's name is involved, so making it more personal. And the promo's great from Ciampa. He plays off the heels so well.
Yeah.
So well. And this match is as anticipated as their first match.
Yeah, I'd say so, actually. Probably more so.
Do you think this match, though, could be as good as the match from Mania?
I don't know. That's one thing I don't know. Because that match was almost perfect. Oh, it's so difficult.
We've seen perfection be...
I think it's going to be
topped.
great. I still think it's going to be great. But in terms of it beating the first match. No, I don't think so.
We've seen perfection, or so we thought it was perfection, being tossed before. For example,
I know what you're going to say.
yeah, Okada Omega won.
Mm-hmm.
The second match for
I'm
me
hopeful.
was a better match.
I'm definitely hopeful that it will be better.
Regardless, it's one of these rivalries.
Either way, I'm just going to sit back and enjoy it.
Absolutely, and that's the important thing. Just enjoy what it is right now, because it's the thing to watch right now, and that's the important thing.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's all our results of the week. Now let's quickly move on now to our previews of the week.
What? Look at what we have here, folks!
We have a fair amount of previews actually coming up over the next couple of weeks. Obviously tonight, Low Blows Wrestling Parties will be showing their New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion 2018 and the CM Punk Mike Jackson match for UFC Fight Nights. That'll be happening at Buskers in the Ball tonight, Saturday, June 9th at the Buskers in the Ball Temple Bar. Tickets are available on eventbrite.ie, free for Low Blows subscribers. There's no Temple Bar prices on booze. Obviously there's pool prices. They have that King of the Ring, what are they calling it again? King of the something?
King of the Rack.
King of the Rack, thank you. Another entertainment after show that will run till late. Obviously Fight Factory announced on their recent show that they'll be back on Sunday, June 15th in the In Christ Friday. Was it Friday, June 15th?
It's a Friday.
Oh, excuse me. Friday, June 15th, at the In Christ the King Hall in Cabra. Tickets are available on eventbrite.ie. Katie Harvey, Justy, Phil Boyds, Valkyrie, LJ Cleary, Michael May, Morton Hype, Alexander Dean, Debbie Gattel, Justin Daniels, Flamboyant Fabio, and more are to be announced for that. OTT Contenders International Invasion will be taking place on Sunday, June 17th at the Ringside Club, National Stadium in Dublin. Tickets are available on eventbrite.ie. Only matches announced so far are Naomi Tanizaki against Sean Guinness, Evil Ono against Terry Thatcher, and just announced during the week the Armstrongs will take on Rough Stuff.
Isn't there like a 3-team tag match as well?
I don't think I'm not sure. Maybe I missed that.
I'm almost certain there is.
Just check on that.
Give me 2 seconds. I'll get that for you now.
In the meantime, also, Pro Wrestling Ulster are back on Friday, June 22nd for Junction 10 Gold Rush 2018 happening at the S13 in Belfast. Tickets available on tickettailor.com. Matches announced includes Michael May to defend his PW All Ulster title against Phil Boyd, Lauren LaRue to defend her PW Women's title against Raven Creed. And the last show, Luther Valentine called out Joe Henry, so we'll see if that's been answered. James Storm, PW champion Tim Steed, Tucker, and Jussie are also confirmed to appear on that show. And finally, then on Sunday, June 24th, Uprising Wrestling Jailhouse Rock will be back at Crumlin Road Jail in Belfast on June 24th. Tickets are available on eventbrite.ie. Matches announced so far include Alexander Dean against Sean Guinness in a 10-man tag team match. Adam Maxted, Stephen Cavall, Eddie Stone, Gavin Fitz, and Russell Dempster to take on Curtis Murray, Scotty Davis, and the Kings of the North. Tucker, JMoney, and Angelica Harkness also confirmed to appear. Do you have the idea of the match there?
I do. It's a 3-team match. Club Tropicana against Martina Chantel Mantel.
Oh, yeah.
So Martina and a mystery tag team partner. Who would it be?
God knows.
And then against More Than Hype as well, the team of Darren Cleary and LJ Cleary and Darren Carney.
Yeah. So a lot of good matches. Looking forward to. Anyway, let's finish off our show now with our yes nos.
Yes! No! Yes! No! Yes! No!
There isn't too many yes nos this week, so I'll just dive into them very quickly. Eli Drake to stay at Impact and not come to WWE. There's a lot of rumours of Eli Drake leaving.
Yeah. I haven't been following it, so I'll just say no.
No?
I think the lore of WWE would too much for him.
I think he could be staying in Impact from what I've heard.
Okay.
So, especially now they're starting to turn things around, so we'll see what happens anyway. Bullet Club to appear at Impact.
No.
Heard? No.
No.
Why would you say no?
Because I don't think they want to go back.
At all?
No.
But that was under different management, so I think it makes a difference
I don't think so. I know Don Callis is in charge and stuff like that, but I think Bullet Club is just... It depends on what's going to happen with Ring. If Ring of Honor get into a working relationship with them, maybe. But
maybe. So maybe it's on the line, but not straight away.
No.
Okay. Shawn Michaels to wrestle one more match.
I'd love it.
He confirmed in an interview recently from Sky Sports, of all places, that he is tempted for one more match.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
I'd love it. Love to see. I think obviously the picture between him and AJ Styles, like those two having a match together.
It's still, even to this day, there's a bit of questions. You know?
I'd love to see it, but I'll say yes out of hope.
Out of hope.
Yeah.
Finally, especially after the recent sellouts, All In 2 to happen.
I heard the rumours are going to be at the MSG.
I'm gonna. What? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a place. Now that rubs salt in the runs of WWE.
It would. It'd be the
Time.
first non-WWE event to take part in Madison Square Garden in so long. I think ever. Name
another time. NWA were never in Madison Square Garden.
Exactly.
It was always in McMahon's.
I'm going to say no because I don't think they want to. I think they want to just do the one. But
it's a once-off thing.
Yeah, the popularity may just be... may rise so much of it that they will end up doing another one. I don't know.
Can you understand how tempting it might be, though?
Oh yeah, like hashing on it now and stuff and keep going.
Again, it sort of goes by what by maybe the philosophy of what some are trying to do. They're changing wrestling and how. And imagine if they go to Madison Square Garden.
It'd be huge, wouldn't it?
Oh my God! Now there's a note to finish off the show. Anyway, on that note, we are going to finish off the show. The Kickout, your weekly pro wrestling guides. Right here on 90.3 near FM and I'll go podcasting boys on EMC Podcast Network. You want to mention one thing? Sorry.
I think.
Oh yeah, you know what?
We should have a bit of a reflection. I think on the last 100 shows.
You know what? I was almost going to end the show, and you waved my hand and thinking, you know what? We were rented on, and you're right. We're 100 shows in.
Yeah, we're 100 shows in.
It still kind of.
I know we
strange.
had a little joke and stuff about it at the start. But
yeah.
Like 2 years of work we've been putting in.
Yeah.
To get this show
where
it is now, where like as much as Redacted says he hates the podcast,
it's a compliment in the fact
at least that he knows who we are.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like we are. Well, I hope that we are respected in the Irish wrestling community, at least anyway.
It seems like we come across as positive.
Yeah.
By some people, by the guys who do listen to us.
Unless you work for WWE.
Well, we never had negative press from WWE.
I'm surprised if they even knew who we were.
No, they don't. Which is a good thing because we can talk negative about them more.
It's been absolutely fantastic being here for the last 2 years.
It's kind of strange.
I know it doesn't feel like 2 years.
It doesn't feel like
we've done 100 shows.
It doesn't feel like work,
and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah,
I think.
Well, I felt like work this week watching Raw. That's another story.
Yeah, but we get to come in once a week and talk for the guts of about 2 hours about what we love.
Or we're into anyway, so
have a rant every now and again as well about it. But
mostly from
the fact that this show alone as well has just. Before the show, I was like a WWE guy only. But this show alone has broadened my horizons to everything, to New Japan, to Ring of Honor, to Impact, even to the local scene.
Absolutely.
Because I knew next to nothing about the local scene before coming onto this podcast. And, like, obviously working with you has been fantastic. I'm saying it like it's going to end soon. I don't see it ending.
No.
Soon.
We're just reflecting. We're not really reflecting a bunch, are we? We always have words.
No, we're proper Irish. It's kind of hard to talk about. Just like, it's grand. Then we move on.
Yeah, just leave it.
But no, I like I said, I couldn't have like a better host for the show. You know, just everything about this has been fantastic.
It's been
and I love the fact that the people that we've gotten to meet through it as well. Just from doing the show,
people know us.
People know you.
They know us.
People know you.
They recognise your voice.
I'm just that guy that sits there at wrestling shows, and I'm just more like, because you'll be the first to admit yourself. You are into the shows, like you get into them.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I love so much about you, that you get into these shows so much. You can like separate yourself from being the guy who's reviewing it to the fan.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing.
I myself would be more like because you sit next to me at enough shows. Like I'm sort of more the
quiet one.
The quiet one. I'm taking everything in. I'm looking at everything. I'm looking at the crowd reaction. I'm looking at what the guys are doing in the ring.
You're an observer,
and I'm trying to like learn about it as well to see, like, because obviously everyone knows, like, psychology in the ring and storytelling is the most important parts of having a really, really good match.
It's good though to be a fan as well, because that way you can, you can almost react to how something is good and how something is bad. So if you chant loudly for your favorite wrestler, it makes you enjoy it more. Yeah. If I give heat to a guy to a wrestler who's a good heel, that's a compliment on them.
Exactly.
Like, you know, whether it's Justin Daniels or Gunter Isaac or the Mongols who've been given heat to lately, then that's a good thing. It means you're doing the right things.
Exactly. You're doing what you should be doing. You should be getting people
or
angry.
Or to the point, I don't like you, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. I don't like the way you're doing things. That's why you're doing well.
You're a good heel.
But yeah, and like, even just from doing this show, getting the opportunity to work with the lads at Fight Factory and doing some stuff for them recently, which I've been really, really enjoying. And I can't wait to do more of that stuff as well. And obviously being able to open up and expand into other things as well, from doing our prediction videos as well to doing their forfeits and stuff.
Yeah.
It's been absolutely
I'm me doing my forfeits.
Well, Dave,
which we haven't even talked about for this week, for this year.
I know we haven't, but we're not at the end of the year yet. We have to go calendar year, you know that.
But you told me at the start after that last one you don't want to do it, and I don't blame you.
No, you said you didn't want to. You said you didn't want to.
Don't turn it around
because you did not want to get chopped again.
No, will you go away out of that?
I said I don't mind what we do. Obviously, because this has to be an end to a means. Let's not get into a fight.
That's not how I remember the conversation, and you know it.
We're reflecting.
Yeah, we're reflecting on the conversation that you think happened.
I'm reflecting on a conversation I know happened.
No, yeah.
Anyway, you're leading by quite a lot anyway, so I got back on the Blacklash a little bit, but we'll see what happens after the double show next week.
Yeah, but let's not forget who copied who in New Japan.
That didn't count towards this, though.
I suppose you're right. Oh, you're right. It didn't actually.
Yeah.
It could have.
It didn't.
It could have.
It didn't.
It could have.
It didn't.
Anyway, before we...
God!
I always want to...
God, it's so much shade being thrown my way right now.
Listen.
Do you want the 100 show to be the last show? Because I'll make that happen.
We have our rants now and then. This is like... This is
I will make that. I will walk out this room.
No, you won't.
No, I wouldn't.
No, you won't. Before we finish up, I just want to thank a few people, because like it's on our 100th show, and again, we're not. It feels like it's our last show. It's not. It's just thanking for people for everything they've done for us since we started. Like I want to make a shout out to Alan Bradish and Sally Galliano, who's our program coordinator and our radio and our station coordinator here in Near FM. Like Al in particular is actually a bit of a wrestling fan himself, so every time I come to the studio he's always like, oh, so how about that Daniel Bryan coming back? Also, even the most random story, or how about that Enzo doing this and stuff like that. Like, so he brings up so he's always been very encouraging for us. Like he's given us the opportunity to expand our show. When we started out 2 years ago, we were only an hour show, a 11:30 to 12:30. We've since then become a 4:30 to 6:30 show. So I had the extra time, and he's given us the opportunity to do that. So we give a huge shout out to him and to Sal and to Kieran Murray as well, who is our the main guy here at Near FM. So we want to give a huge thank outs to them. I want to give a bit of a shout out to Rick and Jade from Low Blows, because I've always said that if it wasn't for their show, our show wouldn't exist, in the sense that they inspired me to do the kickouts. When I first came to Near FM, everyone was saying, "Oh well, Dave, what show will you do? What show do?" I'm like, I'm not sure. And then I saw, and then I went, and that was when we met. So we met at WrestleMania at Low Blows.
Yeah.
Well, we bumped into each other. Like,
we had been, but we didn't know that we both had that we both liked wrestling as much as we did.
Didn't the first time I met you had a Battle Club shirts?
Don't think so. I didn't have
one of the first times. Maybe
I don't think so. No.
If not the first time, definitely the second time. I don't know. But anyway, I've always said that their podcast inspired our show, because I thought, that's awesome. Like, I mentioned that in the radio show. Like, so I've always said that. So, and their show is doing very well at the moment. Like, so I'm always a fan of theirs. I always contribute to their Oslo Blows thing. So I want to give a shout out to them, because, I've always said their show has inspired, and if it wasn't for them, we probably wouldn't have a show. Like, and that's that. I want to give a shout out as well to all the guests we've had over the last couple of years, and there's been lots, especially from all over the country, not just in Ireland, but outside. Like, we've had Drew Annex from Canada, we've had Harlow O'Hara from the United States, But I've also had like all the like probably a who's who in Irish wrestling that we had the opportunity to talk to. Not just myself now, but you've had the chance to have a few chats with likes of Darren
and Michael and stuff. Yeah.
So there's countless names we could tank into that. Like in particular, like Lee Callahan as well from CCW. He's been more than open to us when we come to covering his content. We could give a huge shout out to him as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jerry O'Brien and Butch, who's helped us with OTT as well. So huge shout out to them. And biggest shout out obviously is to yourself, Tara, because it's weird when you compliment me because I'm like, I don't know, like it's like, oh, I mean, it's flattering, but it's like we're so used to busting our balls.
We're both so Irish that we're just like, we can't take compliments. It's like, will you give over will you?
I've always said though that like I always look back to that show when I can't remember what show it was. I think it was the only show I had to do by myself, and I'm thinking to myself, I can't do this by myself. I can't do this by myself. Yeah. But what's cool about us is like, we both seem to have we both have our own ideas of pro wrestling. We don't always agree, but the fact is it's easy to talk to each other. I've always found we never actually had an argument ever.
Yeah, we've had a few.
Well, we don't hate each other as a result.
We haven't been throwing chairs across the room.
We don't hate each other. Yeah, but there's a difference between arguments where we hate each other for a while as opposed to an argument where we just disagree.
We've had debates.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
The point is, this show is so much more enjoyable to do, and it's enjoyable to do because it's easy to have you, and it's so easy to have you here as my co-presenter. So I can't thank you enough for that.
Thank you, Dave. Aw.
So, and that's that, man. So
quick, end the podcast before the game.
So on that note, so that's our 100 podcasts. Maybe we have more
to the next 100.
Indeed. So
we should have got like champagne or something. I'm gonna hold my water bottle to the next 100.
I'll hold my cup of coffee. So, cheers. Do you hear that?
Yeah.
On that note, that's all we have time for this week on the Kickouts, your weekly pro wrestling guides, right here on 90.3 Near FM on all good podcast providers on the EMC Podcast Network. Make sure to check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/Kickout Wrestling, Twitter at the Kickout Live, Instagram at the Kickout Wrestling. Check us out on YouTube and Podbeam. Check out my Twitter at Dave Bandana, and Darah's at
Mars Bar.
And that's us. So hopefully things can improve from here. Like that whole WWE thing, I think we should just continue it as it is. Like if it's that much of a chore, below average, we're not doing it after that. Points, and that's it.
No, I'm not getting back into it. Let's just keep on a happy note. We'll end on a happy note.
Well, Dominion's this weekend, so we can be happy about that. So we'll be doing that next week.
Except I'm going camping this weekend. I'm going to miss it.
Enjoy.
Yeah, I'll try my best. I'll have to watch it on Sunday.
That'll be TKO 101. Strange, isn't it?
I know. Triple digits now.
Yeah. So we'll be talking about that, as well as we'll probably try and have a review for CCW Revolution VI as well. But until then, I've been Dave Cullen. He's been Daragh Maher. This has been the Kickouts, your weekly pro wrestling guide. Thank you so much for listening.